Hey. And the Yeti's still connected? Excellent.
Woo.
Welcome to session 77 of Out of the Abyss.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. On the Runtime Initiative. When we last played... What the hell did you guys do this time?
Leveled up. We fought beholders.
Killed 4 beholders
We did
this
fight
time.
beholders. Oh wait.
No, beholders were 2 sessions ago. Last
Right.
session we got back to Vizarin.
Yep.
Oh,
Sort
worm
of planned what we were
eggs.
doing.
Yeah, we got the worm eggs.
Oh
Yeah,
we did
you
get the
you
worm eggs.
looted some gold, freed some slaves, sent some people on their way, topside or by way of Blingdenstone to get people on their way home.
Got a gem that can cast 3 spells that I can cast.
You worked with
Call that a tip.
Hane to
Oh, honey.
pull a bit of a purple worm egg heist. She sort of guided you through that process sort of as a way to show her appreciation for rescuing everyone from Karazakar. After that, you guys, narrowly avoided an encounter with one or more purple worms, and then you made your way back to the Vast Oblivium in order to meet up with Vizarin to have him take you back to the tower. And I believe we picked up, or we ended with you guys taking a long rest in the tower, and now we're on the next day. He Irish goodbyed me a little bit too, Doug, but, they were stressed out puppies. So.
Hi, Doug. I'm very sorry.
Oh, yeah. There was a little bit of salt about that.
I understand. I apologize. It was a game time decision. It's not.
Not the ideal.
You mean you made the decision during the game of volleyball you were playing?
Yeah, I was like.
I was premeditated Irish goodbye.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna say goodbye to only Caleb. That was it.
Say goodbye to me too.
I did. That's right.
So,
We are.
you were all in Araj, in the Tower of Vengeance. And the day is yours.
Yeah. I think I said I was going to study up on the Gallery of Angels.
So what I put down in my notes was that you were going to do reading about angels in general and celestials. At least that's what I thought. So there's not a lot in the way of writings about the Gallery of Angels specifically. It's just something that Vizarin knows exists and is sort of a peculiar location.
Yeah, so if there's not much on the gallery itself, then I'll just read about angels. If there is any, I would love to find out if there's any information on what caused them to be put on display.
So...
I have a thought before you do that. Could we potentially ask Vizarin if we can make a day trip to the what is it, Ravenhollow library?
Ooh.
For...
To look up that.
Read about the
library. Read about the gallery. Sorry, put words in your mouth, but that's what you want to do. So
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Nero will suggest what you might want to see. We've got a day's long, so perhaps Vizarin will be willing or persuaded to do so.
It would certainly help. It's not too much trouble, Vizarin.
Well, you all wanted me to come, right? Because I'm going to be working on all this stuff.
Oh, no, you...
Don't worry, I'll be right
That's
here.
what I mean.
The whole reason we're doing anything
Alright.
that's not going to the galleries so you can...
So you can do that.
Right.
I feel like
Work on
going,
your necklace.
going to Gravenhollow while you're working on that is a low percentage risk play.
I will
I
pass
agree.
off the stone speaker crystal to one of you guys so that you can use it if you'd like to.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Okay. before bowing to your whims, Vizarin just asks you, what more do you need to know?
We'd like to find out more about the Gallery of Angels. We're planning on spending the day here anyway, or the day not going to the gallery, not getting into combat or anything, so reading about the gallery might prove useful for tomorrow.
And also finding out the location of what demon lord's in there again. Do we determine it was Yinogu or Baphomet? You keep saying Yinogu, but I'm pretty sure it's Baphomet.
Well, it's the...
I'm sure Baphomet is there.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure Baphomet is there. Yinogu might be.
I don't remember who had which vision.
Also, the Garistros in the Labyrinth with Baphomet.
Yeah, I have it written down where Baphomet was fighting with the Garistro.
And then Inogu is...
Might have been in the Labyrinth is this place.
Yinogu
Might have been in the Worm Writhings.
No.
No?
I think Inogu was in the
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth looking for... Because, yeah, Inogu is looking for that mechanism.
The box.
Baphomet was looking for the mechanism.
Oh, and Baphomet is... So Baphomet is looking for the mechanism and fighting with the Garistro?
Well, that was future. Him fighting with the Garistro, I think, was future.
I thought that was present. And the
One of the two. One was
artifact
present.
future.
One was present. One was future.
Artifact was future.
Regardless of which, he was doing one or the
He's
other.
in the place where the artifact and the angels are. I think Inogu's there too.
I don't have notes about Inogu.
And conveniently,
I just know Yinogu.
when
when
Vizarin eventually gives in to your desire to try and learn more, because he knows it's in the labyrinth, approximately how far in. He knows that they are statues that are petrified angels, celestial creatures that were condemned by the gods, basically, to pass eternity there. But that's really the extent of his specific knowledge. So eventually, he agrees to bring you guys back to Graven Hollow. Ishara can do either. Actually, all things considered, she'd probably go, just because, I know that there was some concern about potential backstabbing and betrayals, and if the two of you guys are going to stick around in the tower, she'd probably go with you two and Vizarin.
Okay.
But he sees enough of the logic in going back to Graven Hall to learn more, and agrees to bring you back there.
I'm guessing he has to stay.
No, this time he travels with you.
Okay.
He'll escort you back to Graven Hollow.
If there were Ranger Wise gone.
With the unseen servants.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He does bring Cleve with him, though, traveling with you guys. But yeah, so he teleports you not far from that small jut of rock that you found the basilisk perched on to meet you outside of it. So it's not too far of a walk for you to get to the library from there. And after teleporting, it is a uneventful short trip to once again reach the entrance to the library. No one greets you this time, but you're nothing said. You're more than welcome to go and get more visions, basically. And one thing that you can do that is specifically noted in the book, you could basically try and redo other visions, because
We've left
each of you
and came
saw
back.
right. Well, not even that necessarily, but if you saw something and there was like a detail that really didn't mean anything to you, and you're like, I don't really know what this was, and then Bryn's like, maybe I can tell or have a better idea. So you're able to sort of specifically request redos of the
Like
same
star
visions that you've
69
had.
on visions.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. It still takes, it takes the charges. It takes the juice, the good stuff to make that happen. But you can do that.
So how many charges was it per vision again?
2.
Okay, we recharge. We're definitely full at this
Yeah.
point.
So we have 3 vision.
10. No. Is it 7? I thought it was 10. Hold, please.
We should try and learn how to navigate the labyrinth.
It's 10 charges.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One thing we should ask is how to and what that might be somewhere that we read instead of like vision, but figuring out how to navigate the labyrinth seems like a good thing to ask.
Let's do some reading first. Try to get the knowledge, the written knowledge that exists on the gallery first, and then we can go ask questions about the things we need to know after that.
I concur.
Yeah, I still don't find anywhere in my notes that supports that it would have been Baphomet hunting down a Garistro, because that doesn't really fit. That doesn't, or at least I don't have that noted anywhere. It's possible that
Day one.
I said it on the wrong one at the time, because as soon as you start requesting these, both Yinogu and Baphomet are in the labyrinth.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yormik.
that's it. So Jordan's reading source
Yeah.
material. That's pretty embarrassing.
I was pretty sure Inogu and Baphomet were both in there.
I know that Yinogu was
swear
hanging out
you
with
said
Knowles trying to find Baphomet, I think, was what we were looking at. Regardless,
Maybe that's what I did.
on day 145,
Maybe, because that sounds right, because they hate the shit out of each other.
They were in the same area, and we knew where Baphomet was, so then they had to be,
yeah.
Anyway.
On day 144 is when we had the visions of the different locations. Day 145, we looked again, I guess, and we saw Baphomet fighting a large Garistro, unclear how far from the
On the
device
right
it was.
side.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm here to help you.
So was Baphomet not actually fighting a Garistro? Would that
He
have been
was.
in Nogu?
No, Baphomet was.
But
Oh, right. If,
Canonically.
Makes sense.
if Kevin said it wrong.
These are my winners.
No, you have to. We waited a year and a half for these dice. You have to use them.
I mean, these are my viewer guys.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Hey.
That resubs to.
Yeah, I might have just swapped, because I have specific notes for like, what were they up to? The specific visions that you guys had. The one that was Yinogu like smashed a beholder with a flail. The other one was Buff. You know what? I'm just going to read these again.
Sure.
And we're going to go with that. Disregard the Garistro thing. Don't remember where that came from, and that is not strictly speaking accurate. Jesus.
It might have just been based off of when you were
Hello.
Okay.
Huh.
when you were thinking
That was
of
new.
the requirements for the amulet. Maybe there was some like Freudian slip
Yeah.
on the Garistro.
Could have been the most powerful magic item. Because we asked where that was.
No, that was the.
No,
It doesn't matter.
no, that was
No,
the
that was a
Baylor.
Baylor.
That's right.
Yeah, stop talking.
So, the
Unbelievable.
the vision that when you asked about Baphomet was, the smell of blood fills your nostrils as you wander a maze of underdark tunnels, moving with purpose as your giant hooves crush stones underfoot. Phasrus light reveals that your shadow is monstrous, suggesting a hulking beast with a crown of horns. With your bloody glaive, you carve a swath through a forest of towering zirkwood mushrooms that stand in your way. The tunnels beyond would confuse an ordinary mind, but you instinctively know the path you must walk. Every step brings you closer to a magma-filled chasm, lodged in which is an enormous contraption of metal and stone, a weapon capable of reshaping the Underdark itself.
That sounds familiar.
And
Well, I know he said that.
Yeah, I think I said that before. Yeah.
And so Baphomet and Garistros, they're pretty tight on average. Like a Garistro is like a giant bull-looking demon kind of thing. And there's a bit of a cloven hoof motif to Baphomet. So that might have been it, or it might have been because I knew eventually the heart of the Garistro was it. I don't remember specifically, but then the vision for Yinogu. A hunched and rotting creature with the head of a fiendish hyena swings a triple-headed flail at a beholder, crushing it. As the eye tyrant falls to the floor, a pack of hyenas leaps onto the corpse and tears off its eye stalks, while the demon lord licks the gore off its weapon. As the hyenas feed, they transform into slavering, cackling gnolls before your eyes.
That also sounds familiar. It must have been another question that got us
That they were like
the
It was.
location.
It was a following day. Like, I have on 144 those things.
Mm-hmm.
Then 145, which was the day before we just left with Vizarin. We asked how far away he was from the device.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we might as well ask where's the nearest Garistro.
And make a prediction.
Yeah, actually, Baphomet might just have Garistros with him.
Nah, he's too Chad for that.
Every Chad needs his
entourage.
posse.
Needs his hype beasts.
Somebody make YouTube thumbnails.
Okay.
So we're gonna start then just sort of researching books on the Gallery of Angels.
Can I get a number 3 vision with fries and a Coke, please? Okay, so sorry. Reading on...
The Gallery of Angels. Just looking to see what text exists about it.
Sure. So... You are able to find a similar quantity of information as to what Vizarin has already told you. The thing that's notable about the results that you get is, at least as far as the oldest tomes and the oldest reports of this location are recorded, like that. Graven Hollow doesn't know when these got here, and supposedly Graven Hollow itself was constructed by deific stone giant gods of old. So a long time ago. It's been there a long time. Yes, the petrified remains of 8 fallen angels, condemned by the gods to pass the ages in the dark depths.
Any word on
Should probably make an about it.
like guarding measures?
So no mention of guarding or protective measures of the gallery itself, but it is noted that despite their petrified state, the angels are very much alive. And no one who's attempted to break the petrification was ever successful.
They just haven't gone at it. with the
Any
right
amount
angle.
any amount of destruction of the statues hasn't really yielded anything productive.
Oh, so no one's been able to break them? Or dislodge a feather from them?
That is not specifically noted in this text.
Okay.
Great.
How convenient.
Okay.
So we need to bring a demon lord there to swing at us, and we dodge it, and he hits each of them 5 times.
And get to
Just
cut.
wait for the blinking yellow indicator on their sword. Jump out of the way.
Yep.
Just finish the
Or, I mean, we can always use our invincibility frames.
right
Yeah.
wave dash around them.
Yeah. I jump and then press down B.
Really fast though.
I do that 17 times around. Okay.
So it doesn't say that there's not been like damage done to them or anything. It just doesn't say that it was ever productive as far as like freeing these celestial beings from this petrified state.
Sure. Okay. I will. That's good as far as research then. So we'll ask some questions.
We should also just research the labyrinth as a whole and see if there's anything, like any written record of a way to navigate it.
You want to research that while I research the
Sure,
gallery?
I'm a book boy.
Book boy.
Unlike Yormik, I can read.
I can read.
Yeah, Yormik can read.
We have
He
been
can
over
read
this.
the rocks.
He can read pictures.
Have you not watched our
so good at
Doki
picturing.
Doki Literature Club stream?
Yeah.
Yormik can read.
Yormik's in a literature club. All right,
It is
let's
canon
get it right
from that stream.
Yep, which is always canon. Anything on the stream?
All the members of the Doki Doki Literature Club are going to kill themselves, and it's just going to be Yormik left behind.
Never. Why would they do that?
Sounds like accurate.
Okay, so the labyrinth is covers an enormous swath of the Underdark. We're talking
1 mile.
no, certainly on the order of hundreds, if not thousands, of square
Meters.
miles.
Centimeters.
Yeah, I mean, on this map, it's pretty small. It's, you know, like 1 inch by 2 inch, maybe.
So tiny.
Yeah, real little.
Microns.
Yeah.
Might, like if you walk real fast, you might miss it, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. You might just crush it underfoot.
Right.
It's just a big ant farm.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, kind of. So
But man, if you were ant-sized, it'd be super confusing.
most caves in the labyrinth are small. Here, these are just the general like physical features of it. There's not. There's like a few kind of, or a long time ago recorded settlements of like non-humanoid type creatures that have just are living in there, right? Because it's a huge swath of land. Things are gonna find a way to live there. The caves in the labyrinth are generally very small, up to like 30 feet in diameter, with uneven floors, with stalagmites, columns, pools of standing water. There's the occasional luminescent or other types of fungi there.
At least they're having a good time.
Most tunnels are pretty small, more in the range of like 5 to 10 feet wide, with ceilings that can be anywhere from, you know, like 4 feet to 12 feet high. It's not called the labyrinth for no reason. Tunnels turn back on themselves, up, down, every which way. Sometimes you just hit dead ends. The movement of the Earth's shifts over time itself means that sometimes you are walking down a labyrinth tunnel and then there's just, oh great, chasm that's hundreds of feet across, and maybe things are there and they've put up a bridge or a rope ladder or something, but a lot of times just nothing's over there. So it's a lot of work to traverse. And the other very noteworthy thing that you glean from your research is that the entirety of the labyrinth is filled with phasers.
Yes.
Why? I love it.
Okay. Nothing in there about a reasonable way to navigate to destination.
Be a minotaur.
Oh, Why don't we think of that?
Okay.
Polymorph.
So now we just have to figure out how to be a minotaur.
True polymorph.
True. I'll do it.
It does need to be true polymorph too,
I volunteer.
because it's not a beast.
Tribute.
Miniature.
So we just fight boars until
Tributary.
I get level what? 8 spells?
Fine.
Not 9 spells. True
Nine.
polymorph's level 9.
Okay, yeah. So we just have to fight a bunch of boars until we.
Just go fight each demon lord one after another. Eventually, you'll get there,
No,
right?
just fight like a bunch of pigs.
So many pigs. Every pig.
How much experience per pig? Like
10.
not even.
Half.
I don't even know what the actual experience like
All right,
numbers look
so
like.
so imagine a Minecraft pig farm.
We set up
Well,
some redstone
are pigs
to spawn
are
pig.
pigs more threatening than kobolds? Answer no.
No.
Kobolds are like 1/8 CR, right?
Yeah.
So
It's like
a pig is probably like 1/16.
You just need to go massacre like several civilizations of kobolds.
Yeah.
There are
Okay.
0 CR creatures.
There are.
So pigs probably 0 CR.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's in the book.
Probably not.
Probably is.
Murder some
Generic
cats.
livestock.
Right.
Just kill the pig.
Save
Alright,
the world.
I'm gonna start pulling the pig.
Kill the pigs.
Okay.
So there isn't any specific advice on like, okay, how you can navigate the labyrinth.
Yeah.
You know, obviously going into the situation well prepared with like climbing gear or other means to help your movement abilities obviously makes a lot of sense, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, like, oh, cool, well, there's a 300-foot chasm here, and then you can just be like, all right, cool, like, let's just fly over it.
I may miss this part, but I'm also not there. Was there any mention of how it came to be, what was created? Is it all natural?
The microphone's doing great.
The labyrinth?
Does the book say? The book that I'm currently reading?
Tori says we're kind of quiet, but the microphone is picking us up. Like it's blinking yellow sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it picking us up.
Yeah, it seems, it looks fine.
Maybe we just talk louder.
Maybe
Could
she just
probably
needs to
just
turn
talk
up her computer
Car
volume.
Phone volume. One of them.
Can't possibly be our fault.
No. We have a mic right
We
there.
have a
Yeah.
perfect track record with technical quality.
We've never had issues.
Look, we have what 5 degrees in computer science between us. Like, how could we possibly mess up with technology?
We even turned it off back out again.
Right.
We did do like that. We do that every week.
Yeah.
Don't let them know our trade secrets.
Degree earned.
Not everyone could be a computer science graduate.
You have to know that and like calculus. That's kind of
And
it.
how to separate.
So there's actual about like 240 miles north to south and about 120 miles east to west is like the
So
size
a
of
little
the
bit bigger than an anthill.
Basically, like one.
the
district
world's
of
biggest
Grackle-
anthill.
2 anthills.
One Grackle Street district.
Right.
Crossing the water deep minute.
Long ago, the labyrinth was much like any other part of the Underdark, consisting largely of natural caverns connected by tunnels and underground rivers. The discovery of precious metals and gemstones led dwarves and others to excavate, extending its tunnels and expanding its caves. The result of these efforts saw an insignificant corner of the Underdark transformed into a vast, sprawling network of passages. Abandoned settlements in the labyrinth are relatively common. Look like the graveyard of old mining towns kind of thing.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna need more than our birth rope. in order to lay down rope.
Are we gonna try to lay down?
For sure, dude.
It's-
We're gonna lay down rope the entire.
It's the
It's
order
only-
of like hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
of tunnel.
It's only 240 miles north
If
south.
it's a
Jordan.
straight line,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be like
Yeah,
a snake line.
Exactly.
Like it's,
So we buy a lot of
How
rope.
much for an intestine
Have you ever
that spans
held up a
that
snake?
it's gonna be fabricating rope back in the.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Jordan, you know how much?
Stone
Wait,
rope.
Vizarin's not in the tower, right?
You know how much?
Right now he's not.
Okay, never mind.
You
It's
know-
fine.
you
Okay.
know-
We will
You know how
return
much
to this.
gold we got from that last endeavor?
It's
Can you
true.
imagine how much rope we can get?
Oh.
I bet you that there's in a straight line, Waterdeep doesn't have 240 miles worth of rope.
We'll find it. If it's
Waterdeep?
there, we've got to.
What it might. Waterdeep's pretty huge.
Stocked or
How do you think
Existing.
Available to
How do you think they
buy.
walk
Oh.
their griffins?
Oh, I thought you meant 200 of road to like if
Rope.
you ran.
No,
rope.
rope.
Never mind then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
just
but
like
I don't
know that
one
that's
big
walking
warehouse.
distance.
Don't hit the seagull. Don't hit the seagull. Ah, dang it.
picking up the poop is way harder.
Just catch.
All right.
Oh,
hold
but
on.
you know.
The other
Rules.
Phaserus info, just because it's been a while since
Yeah.
we've interacted with the Phaserus. Phaserus means there will be dim light everywhere.
What everywhere?
Dim light.
Dim light everywhere. It is substantially more difficult to target a creature within the Phaserus with any divination spell. And occasionally it is very difficult to just cast a divination spell at all. Teleportation is also can be very risky and at times nearly impossible, or like even when you get lucky and it sort of should go okay, it goes worse. If you could know exactly where the maze engine was,
Doesn't matter.
and it's still like you've heard of the maze engine in terms of like where you roll on that table. So incredibly difficult to do teleportation with reasonable accuracy.
It's like teleporting blindfolded.
Basically.
Yeah.
Listen, how much is a 50 feet of rope, anyways?
It's free with birth. We just
Let's say you
start.
needed
We
addition-
start an orphanage.
Look,
It's like
all right?
silver.
Torin Casanova has been training his whole life for this.
Let's-
How
It's
many
a
kids does he
Casanova
have?
orphanage.
Let's just say in theory, how much
It's
is
all part of
that?
his long-term
50
gift.
feet of
All we
rope.
gotta do is, in order to drop the kid off, you have to leave its rope.
I'm
And
sorry,
we
this
take
is
the
just
rope.
this is suddenly entertaining me. Just like me and Ed talking about how
One
many-
gold for 50 feet of rope.
one gold.
Of
We have
hempen
enough.
rope?
We have
So
enough
to
for-
go 240 miles in a straight line, we would just need to spend 25,344 gold for enough rope.
Okay.
That's assuming there's a straight line across the labyrinth.
I didn't say that it was going to work in the labyrinth. I just
240
said that.
miles.
I just said that we could cover 240 miles with it.
I don't think we've walked 200.
All right, now multiply that by 10. Wait, so a quarter million pounds of hempen rope. Every 50 feet is 10 pounds.
How many bags?
Quarter
of holding?
million pounds of
Quarter
hempen
million.
How
rope.
many bags of holding?
We just shove it. It's like one of the, like a
Like one of those like magicians. Where
yeah, it's a measuring tape.
Can we
Just
get
keep
one
it
of
going.
those?
Oh, there you go.
Can we get one of those weight limitless bags of holding?
Portable hole?
So what you guys look at? So Phaserus is nothing that tells us the location or sends us to.
We
a
can't
place.
find anything, yeah.
We can't find
the
anything.
maze engine is truly hidden except to Minotaurs.
Which, like, why would they do that?
Ooh, but can we just need to find the Minotaur then?
Yeah,
Put the rope around him, and then we follow the rope that he leaves behind.
there we go.
Just tie to him,
we
slap
need
him
a
on the
rodeo
buttons, send him
clown.
on his way,
Just lasso the Minotaur.
Phaserus.
and then just tell him not to take the rope off while he walks around.
Yeah.
We'll know.
No, he can't. If we lasso him successfully, he has to respect the rules of the rodeo.
Yeah.
The one.
And he will
laws which
for
transcend
8
all
seconds, and then he'll
planes.
trample your face.
Yeah, that's a round and a third.
Isn't trampling the face part of the radio?
Yeah.
It was often enough that they do have to wear helmets now.
I believe it.
There you
Actually, fun fact: going to the rodeo is actually a blast.
Oh yeah.
It smells like horseshit the entire time, but like it's some pretty cool stuff. You can see.
They're all horses.
And oh man, the food is so good.
Also,
It's
if
so good.
humanity only drank water from the Great Lakes, it would take 6 years to drain all of the Great Lakes of water.
Okay.
Lenny's just doing big numbers.
No, that was the original. What caused me to look up that aspect?
Okay.
I was talking because Ed and I were talking, and we were like, I don't even want to
Is
talk
this
about
why
how
you
we
were
got
actually
there.
late?
Was it the water shortage in California? Or
No,
something?
it was. There's actually not a good reason for
Lenny's
why we got
preparing
down
for
there.
like a fintech interview.
But if they drank
How
it,
many
if
windows
they
are in
drank
New
it
York
as
City?
much as they drank milk, humanity's milk drinking, then it would take 113 million years to drink all of the Great Lakes.
There we go. So what other
So, anyways,
Well, now we're just. I think now we're.
I felt
on
obligated
divisions.
to share
Oh,
that.
visions.
Right.
Yeah,
Those were the
sure.
books that we were after, and so now we're just going for 5 visions.
How long would it take all of humanity to drink all of the Dark Lakes water?
All of like specifically humanity.
No, we'll say all
Like,
of
do
the,
elves count here?
all,
Like, what
of,
do we?
all of the denizens of the Underdark. Do they have the liquid, the total liquid in the Dark Lakes?
In this case, humanoids are humanity.
Right.
Alright,
long time.
anyways, don't encourage this. Let's continue.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry, this is my bad.
What are you trying to look up
This
now?
situation. All right, so first vision. How can we? So we get 1 past, present, and future, but there's 2 of us, or 3 of us.
It's 9.
Shar's here.
Up
Yeah.
to 5.
But don't the visions require
The
Charges.
visions are charges.
Yeah, so we have 5 visions, and we can get 3
Of
of.
any of them.
of any of them? Yeah.
This is an interesting.
Quite, yes, yes, indeed.
I think.
Verily,
Yeah, no, we're just
verily.
chilling alone in the tower.
I think one should be.
I'm working.
Well, you guys figure out
Yeah.
what you're gonna
Sure.
ask for these visions and research the rest of your time here. We will hop back
Oh.
to Araj, where Yormik has been left to his own devices while
Whose
Vera-
idea was this to
This
leave
is
him in
Vizaren's
the
Vizaren's gone, right?
And
Was
so
Aaron's
is-
with them?
So is
Okay.
Steve.
Cool. So I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and see invisibility.
Do I see you cast this on yourself?
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna be like, hey, Vito, just like, just in case you hear anything, it's just me. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I was hoping you weren't gonna let me see it.
I was
So I
gonna
could
say.
pretend like I didn't know what was happening.
Oh no, for sure. No, it's good.
Now you actually have to pretend you don't know what's happening.
I know.
So you forget about it when you get into.
Alright, I'll just say, if I was him, I would have protections in place. So just
I'll be really careful.
You're-
Don't worry about it.
Jordan kills Yormik by adventuring and freaking
Literally
arrive.
just taking the first step on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
4th floor, right? Is that the next one?
And there's no one there to revive
It's the
him
5th
either.
floor is off limits, right?
oh, and don't you dare go up there, Yormik.
Yeah.
That's a sedative.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Do you know anything about these invisible guys that are like walking around? Are they gonna rat me out?
I don't know if they're. They probably could.
They probably can.
I've never actually used the spell, but I mean they're capable of carrying out pretty specific instructions. I think.
Can they speak?
No, but they can pantomime.
Oh, that's fine. I can. Yeah.
I don't think they can speak.
He doesn't seem that strong anyway. He probably can't even see him.
So he was like, "Do this if he went up in my tower," and they would be like,
Yeah. Well, they did. I'll be like, I taught them a new trick where they do this sometimes. I'm gonna go into the floaty tunnel.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up. Which one's the first floor? Not allowed on.
The 5th floor.
Okay, I will try to go to the 5th floor. We'll see what happens.
I love how he, instead of walking up the stairs, he went in the thing that potentially could just turn off.
That's
You
fine.
go
If
there.
it turns off, she'll hear me smack on the ground. I'll lose concentration on invisibility. We'll be fine.
And maybe and maybe die.
The stairs, they have to that's like 5 flights of
I mean,
stairs.
they're sure back on.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like,
5 flights of stairs. How many feet do you think that is?
50.
You think it's only 10-foot ceilings on each floor?
Good point. It's probably like 240-foot vaulted ceilings.
Well, I don't
On
know
each
about
floor?
that. Well, slow down. Slow down
40-foot
there.
vaulted ceilings on each floor.
Slow down there, pal. I merely said that 10 foot was a little bit low, not that every floor is 40 foot.
I'm finding something here. I can see invisible stuff.
I'm sure he won't notice if you take anything.
Right. Well, he didn't notice the chess piece that I took.
Yep. Check it
Okay.
out.
So you step
You're not
into the
even there.
levitation shaft and you say rise,
Mm-hmm.
and you begin to levitate up, and then up, and up, and you reach the level of the 5th floor.
Mm-hmm.
Magic missile to the face or something.
Just one, though.
Where you find yourself in, I mean, it's basically like a round hallway. There are a couple doors into rooms, but like otherwise, this central area is effectively closed off. And as you reach this level, not only do you see a normally unseen servant, several of the suits of armor posted at this level take a step towards you,
I see.
and the levitation stops.
Yep.
And you
tracks. Okay. Reasonable.
Who could have predicted that?
Could've seen it. I will dimension door to the floor.
Okay. Sure. So,
If only
yeah,
I'd
you
seen
get
it
up there,
before,
you
but
see these things
seen it
approach
already.
you, and
I was invisible.
Mhm.
sure,
Suits of armor can see me. Okay.
they seemed to react to you.
Reasonable.
I think I'm
Just
just
making
making
sure.
sure. If you like have the fireball or something, and then teleport next to me where I was working with your beard on fire.
You're just like sitting.
I was here the whole time.
Everything went fine.
Even better, he's still invisible. You just see smoke and smell like singed. Like,
Just
didn't go too
assume
great,
that he's
huh?
back. Okay, so
What did we learn?
so they go towards you, and the levitation
What if
turns
they don't
off,
stop? They
and you
keep
just
following.
de-door to the first floor or back to the where?
Wherever Vera is.
Okay.
Wherever I would have been.
You just detour up there.
You appear
I will.
where Vera was,
I'm sure you have enough.
I do.
and you're none the wiser for the moment.
Yeah. I'm just preparing for my process.
Gonna wait till she's
Maybe
like,
with like
more
a side eye over towards the levitation shaft, because you just know that he's just
Yeah. Like me
invading the
Well, I'm
archmages.
passively waiting for him to fall down the shaft so I can cast Featherfall on him as he goes by. Just waiting for that to happen.
Oh wait, but we wouldn't see him either though, because you did go invisible.
I did. But I would have lost invisibility when I cast Dimension Door.
No.
Invisibility is a drop of the spell?
Oh right, I was thinking like the concentration aspect of it.
So I would say-
You know, all of 25 seconds later, Jormik appears a few feet from you, back on this level again.
Alright, so how does not go into the 5th floor?
So here's the thing. I have a dragon that I can summon. You're like really good at magic. I have a fun idea.
Oh no.
We don't have to do it, but I'm just saying it would be like super fun. Just think about it.
What?
Finish the jewelry first. and then-
I don't. Are you thinking of like summoning this dragon inside of the tower?
Well, yeah. So there's a live metal up there.
I'm just imagining like metal plates attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragon would do just distract them?
Oh, they probably will. They probably stop moving eventually.
Oh, it's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
And then what happens when Viserion comes back?
Well, we take all. Where do we know where he put? Did we give him the components for this amulet already?
For my amulet? Oh no, for the
Yeah.
some of them. But
He probably would have taken the beholder eye in exchange for the laboratory for the day.
Alright, so we don't have any leverage.
Yeah, we also need to be on our side to complete the work we need from him.
That's a good point. He also needs us for the work he needs to complete, though. So there's an
We need to-
impasse here.
We need to
Some
tell.
uncomfortable tension.
We also need him to tell us how to get into Men's Beringzan pretty safely.
Right. Well, no, we have the new drow friend of the egg hunters.
Oh yes, but
And I gave her like a platinum to be like, hey, somebody's gonna come here and say, we need you to get us in and you're not gonna ask me questions.
Well, yeah, that's also something that survived the trek back to.
That's a good point. All right, fine. I won't fight the wizard yet.
I mean, I like. Well, I don't trust him, but I'm just not in any rush to make an enemy yet.
It's fair. I will continue to think of ways to. We'll figure something.
Find a way to subtly.
Yeah, kill him.
Sure. Later, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, if
We'll
he,
see.
If he betrays us,
If only in self-defense.
right.
Potentially preemptive, but we.
I mean,
Preemptive.
There's a lot of ears around here,
I mean,
so.
when it
It was a
comes,
proactive retributive strike.
when it comes to Drow, he's interested to release self-defense always.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what?
I
are you-
riposte your attack in the future. Wait a minute.
You're building
Future
a
counter strike.
necklace.
Or post just
Yes,
in case
I'm
you
trying
time
to,
stop and there's an attack all of a
Make
sudden.
another sort of attachment that goes within the amulet from the Beholder the second Beholder we got. And I'm sort of just setting up all of the different materials I will need so that I'm not panicking trying to find the formaldehyde in his lab because I don't know my way around in here.
Beautiful. I will. Whatever you need, I'll help you. Probably.
I might be able to use an extra pair of hands at times.
Teach me everything.
Starting with reading.
I know how to read. I accept reading. I know how to do that.
Did you just say I know how to read except reading?
No, I know how to read. Just you can teach me
Just-
everything
just not
except
read
how
it.
to read. No, I know.
He knows that already.
Yeah, I know how to read.
Sure.
Yeah, just give me a book. I'll figure. I can. Yeah, actually, you know, what? Just give me the book on the amulet. I'll build it. You can come back and like it'll be like one of those cooking shows where I take it out of the oven and.
Well, why don't you get you it's all gnomish?
It's crazy. We learned classic gnomish in rock school. It's actually all the.
It's all in Gnomish and it's mirror script, so that only he knows how to read it.
Misadventures of Yormek will conclude with trying to go to the 5th floor. But yeah, I will attempt to help with the amulet where possible. As
Okay.
much as I can give you advantage to roll for this.
That's great. I'll be up to Kevin to decide on when that can apply. There, I had an idea for how this would work, and I did 11 steps. And I don't know how many of them are going to require rolls. So
So we'll find out together.
hopefully not all 11.
Okay, so if your mixed shenanigans are done and he's ready to be your laboratory assistant,
Labyrinth.
then take it away. You have this fully stocked laboratory. You've laid everything out ahead of time. It's time.
All right. So you tell me when I have to roll.
Does he have DM inspiration to?
I don't.
Oh
Unless
well, but we were last time I got DM inspiration at the beginning of the session because we did. I don't know if that's continuing.
You got the dice right there.
Oh, well, there it is. All right. I guess
You know, well, sure, because Bryn also didn't stay home to just like funnel bardic inspiration to you the entire time.
I think we mentioned doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, except it's like an all-day thing, and
Except
bardic
it's
inspiration is
cheesy.
all of like 10 minutes.
I know. There might be small
don't step
steps
on that number.
It's all what you
Giving
let
it
us do.
bad
If I
advice.
can, like if there's a critical moment where he's like sticking the piece of eye in the amulet and like that's a critical thing, then I could inspire.
Then he can go like.
Sometimes it doesn't take an hour to do.
I could just run up and be like, "Go Vera!"
Just slam
Roll
a-
your inspiration
a
at
single-
disadvantage.
a single G.
Yeah. Boom! Secret tunnel!
Secret tunnel.
Oh man, actually,
God.
step one would have made so much easier if Bryn was here. Actually, yeah, I could just have him fabricate the iron or the lead eye from a piece of lead.
Don't
Well,
worry.
if you
I
would
got
want,
it.
like if you would want, I could fabricate something before I leave. Like if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, Bren could make this for me, then I can do that.
Well, that would be
before I go.
nice if Kevin allows it.
It's a fabricated gem.
With
too.
a-
That seems reasonable.
So yeah,
As part of like the preemptive setup.
Gem? No, we use that. we use that on eggs.
Yeah.
Yep.
okay, so the first.
Yeah. So then I'll fabricate whatever she needs.
Okay, so I think that's the only thing that can really be fabricated anyway, so that works out great. So the first step was to create a lead. It looks like it's basically an eye. It's just a hollow sphere with a area cut out for the iris, and then in where the iris would sit, there's an indentation for the beholder iris to sit later once I remove that from the actual beholder eye. And on the inside there is 4 screw holes for the gold plate that I'm going to inscribe with some runes. It's basically, once it's done, the goal is for it to be submerged in a liquid within a glass container, and it to act kind of like a compass. Except instead of pointing north, it points towards incoming magical threats. That's the goal.
Dope.
The gold is what gives it the ability to. The gold is the North Finder. It's what reacts. It's what points towards the threat. The iris is what instinctually understands what is a threat. The iron and the lead is just a receptacle for everything else, basically. So yeah, step 1 is to fabricate the lead housing, which you take care of.
Sure.
Step 2 is to extract the liquid from inside the beholder eye and set it aside for later. And that can probably just be done with a syringe or something, basically. And I'm going to, of course, extract as much as I can just in case I need
gets
it.
a straw.
Step 3 is to cut out a approximately ½ an inch circular portion of the iris from the beholder eye, which I'm going to trim down and install on the surface of the lead eye later.
So, for steps 2, 3, and 4, I think all of those sound similarly enough to be
Medicine check or something.
either a medicine check or a dexterity / sleight of hand check.
They are the same. +2. I don't think this is something Norman can help with.
No. Well, I also have a +2. I can hold the syringe in place.
Okay. 16.
16, okay.
Give it 16. It's not bad considering I have a +2 to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So step 5, which was included in that roll or step 4, I'm sorry, was to, after I've removed the part of the iris, and I also would do that as many times as I could to try and get the best sample. But then I would scrape out the anti-magic emitting portions from the back of the iris, like where our cones and rods would be in our eyes. Which I just make up because I would guess that's where, if there were anti-magic emitters, that's what
Magic
they would.
pseudoscience, it's perfect.
Yeah. From there, step 5 is to mix the anti-magic emitters with adhesive and apply them to the back of the inner lead eye, effectively just replicating an actual eye. Except I'm just like, it's more concentrated because the eye I'm making is like this big, and the beholder eye was like fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, step 6 is to install the small gold receiver on the inner iris of the lead eye with the runes. So that's actually good. That's probably gonna take quite a long time to actually craft the gold piece and then inscribe it with the appropriate runes, and it's tiny. So it's like I'm sitting there with my magnifying glasses on and like hunched over with my tiny little tools, just like trying, like I'm pinning a mini basically, trying to get these runes accurate on here. There's gonna be more. From there, cut the iris that I took out from the beholder in step 3, and cut it so that it fits into the recess and to the front of the lead eye, and just apply it onto the front over it's gonna sort of fit over the gold ring. So it'll cover the gold essentially. So you kind of just see a lead eye with part of the beholder's iris in front. Next is to take the entire thing so far and dip it in, or surround it with gum arabic, which is a spell for, I think, my slow spell? I have a spell that has a material component.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 millimeters thick. And just kind of give it a nice little, make it as spherical as I can get it.
So, before we get to the
Dipping?
Because I think sort of Yeah, so for the basically 5, 6, and 7 steps, I think this one it's a combination of a lot of your skill set. So I think this one will just be an Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah, this is much more up my alley than.
Right. It's like it's a little bit of all of the both your tinkering and your wizarding.
Less corner work, more Arcanist work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have advantages for a reason. It's okay, probably. That's a 17.
17. Okay.
I didn't roll great, but I have a much bigger bonus than that one.
And then I guess take us through step 9.
Step 9. So once it's started and I didn't actually know this to be used with Arabic, but apparently it's used in like ceramics and glazes, and if you put it in with a glaze and like fire it, it'll burn out from the glaze and leave no trace. So I'm like, interesting. So I don't know if it would actually work in my application, but I'm taking some liberties. So after that, after it's covered in Arabic, I'm dipping the entire assembly into molten glass and basically like blowing glass in a sense, where I'm just trying to surround the entire thing with a sphere of glass, and the heat is going to burn away the gum Arabic layer, leaving a hollow between the eye and the glass. I'm also going to be poking a hole in the glass, allowing the smoke and the pressure to escape so it doesn't just like shatter and blow up.
Okay. Yeah, and so I think I know what the rest of these are going to be too. So walk us through the last couple steps too.
Okay. So now that once the glass is hardened and cooled a bit, I'm going to take the hole and fill it with a combination of formaldehyde to preserve the biological components within the eye, and then the liquid that I extracted from the eye in step 2, which was the part that was originally in the eye, and that will both fill the gap in between the eye and the glass, and fill the actual center of the lead eye as well, as there is a hole that would allow the liquid to fill out, and just make sure there's no air bubbles. And then once that's filled, I would take a threaded screw that's not pointed on the end, not that it really matters, that is sort of magical conduit that like gold is conduit of electricity kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And screw that in through the hole in the top, and that's pretty. From there, it's pretty much done. The only thing that's left is to sort of attach that gold or that screw back to the piece of my amulet that I wind up, which is like the power source that I have to charge.
So the last 2 skill checks here are going to be, the first one is going to be for alchemist's tools.
I don't have alchemist's tools.
In that case, I think that one is just going to be an intelligence check.
The whole
Effectively.
You're at a whole bench of like potions.
No. He's not proficient with
Yeah, that's right.
alchemist's tools specifically.
I'm sure they're here somewhere.
Sorry, I thought, yeah, never mind.
I'll verify what that is.
If anyone cares to see my drawings.
I've been looking over his shoulder the whole time.
So sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dope.
So what's the inner eye made out of?
Lead. It's what you fabricated. This piece right here.
Okay.
is made of
What's
lead.
the outside? So the outside portion is your amulet.
The outside is, so the amulet is this piece right here actually
Yeah.
sits inside of the amulet. It's only about this big, all said and done.
Okay.
Whereas my amulet's about that big.
Okay. So what is this made out of?
Yeah, no, so the alchemist proficiency with alchemist supplies would just let you add proficiency to whatever type of check it was for alchemy. This one is going to be intelligence because it's more like feels more like chemistry than.
That's not a good roll. Oh, inspiration. Use it now.
Big money.
Worse. It's gonna be an 8. Wait, I have to use a new roll, right?
No.
No, you get to pick.
Well, it's 9 then.
Okay. 9.
On the plus side, I can always break the glass off.
And then the final check for, putting everything together, finally making it into one piece, connecting it into the rest of this amulet that you've spent, years at this point crafting.
Can Yormik help with one of these?
Anything.
I'm trying to think of help.
Is he-
Because
useful at
I feel
all?
like for this, like if you're sort of like doing that last bit of assembly, like an extra pair of hands might be.
Actually, I think the glass blowing was. When people blow glass, they frequently have a second person helping. But
I'll give you
here
that.
to be
I've
at the
watched
table.
just enough of that glass blowing contest. Yeah,
I've watched
on
that.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It's like it's entertaining enough, and then you're like, all right, they're a little too into themselves, but some of the stuff's
some
really
of
cool
them
to
are so
watch.
freaking-
Some of it's incredible, and others it's just like, oh well. It felt really bad because a lot of times it's like a crapshoot. You're just like, oh, this looks amazing, and then it just shatters for no reason because it's glass blowing, and that's just the game.
That's how it works.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I will, especially for that, right, because for the glass blowing portion for this alchemist check, yeah.
One more roll.
Yep.
One more roll. Big money.
Piece of I would have rolled with advantage these two, so this is the other die I would have rolled. One higher.
Hell,
10.
10, baby.
Let's go.
I rolled a 3,
That's
a 5,
the
and a
Yormik
6.
effect right there.
Yeah.
That's the Yormik
That
bump.
is one better.
If you keep rolling, it gets better.
Right, exactly.
That
So we've still lowered our average, but it's okay. Let's just stop the first
But
one.
we upped our average from the last 3 rolls.
Right.
All right. So then for the final step, putting it all together, plugging into the power, finishing it into one singular piece, in conjunction with everything else you've been working on with this for, well over a year at this point. This final check will be your wheelhouse with your tinkerer's tools.
Thank God.
This is a big one.
I rolled higher eyes with this one the last couple, so. What kind of sucks about this whole thing is that it's really hard to get a hold of Holder's eyes, so how am I going to remake this for other people? Come on.
Refund.
13. Rolled another 5.
A 13.
Mm-hmm.
The entire tower blows up. All of the magic is sucked from everywhere in the for a square mile.
It was the best fireball I've ever seen.
He says as he dies.
Worth it.
So
Maybe not fire resist.
True.
you put this amulet together, and it clicks into place. No explosion. Nothing shatters.
Well, now we test it.
You want me to?
Yeah, Yormer can help me test it.
Ready? What do you want me to do?
Let's go outside first.
Wait, it's all the same. Do you want to go use it against the metal?
It needs to react to an incoming magical threat.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you'll
So-
get those.
Yep.
So I know we talked about it at some point.
No.
It's gonna work
No.
a little bit differently for a ease of rules.
I figured you were
perspective.
gonna have the way you
Ah.
intended for it to actually work.
Sure. And yeah, so if you guys just go down to the first floor, there's just
I have to arm it though. I have to.
Sure.
So I used it in the fight with the polders. I don't think I've armed it.
Gotcha.
What kind of a punch are you looking for here, Vera?
The smaller the punch, the better.
Alright,
Because I
cool.
can't counterspell, otherwise it'll.
So this is gonna be a more proactive anti-magic effect.
Okay.
And basically, your new version of this amulet no longer requires attunement.
Jesus. Okay.
It still can, so you reset it and you can use one of the
Attacks.
effects. You can still do the reaction that was like the uncanny dodge, effectively. That's still there.
That wasn't a reaction. That was a bonus action to activate.
No, that's the blur. The blur was a bonus action to activate.
What was the reaction?
The reaction was just like take half damage from an incoming source.
I don't remember
You
that.
troll! He hasn't used it this whole time!
That was the original effect.
Oh my gosh. Somebody
You're
fire
right.
this guy.
That is something I can do.
You need more!
Okay,
Shield is a
so
better
the
reaction
reaction is
anyway.
still there.
Cool.
Still there.
To counteract
Might
the
as
fact
well
that this
just
no
stop it.
longer requires attunement,
Thing just got
the
such a
bonus
bug.
action blur now just cast. You can use it to cast the blur spell on you. It's not going to take one of your spell slots, but you will have to concentrate on it.
And it will,
like normal.
and it will be an action.
The bonus action, the blur spell would be a bonus action.
Okay, and would I not be able to cast a level spell turn afterwards? To be determined.
Nah, fuck it. We'll say yeah. You can do that one. You can do that one with something else.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Kevin is sending it.
That's how bad this maze is.
Yeah. All right, guys, get your requests in today.
in the new mode that you have just installed is as an action, you can use the amulet to cast anti-magic field, which is normally an 8th level spell. The difference being, instead of it lasting for like an hour or something, it's a 1-minute version. You still have to concentrate on it like normal, so you can still lose your concentration and lose it, but it is that is your new beholder infused mode.
Okay, so that, I mean, it was always intended to be a short burst spell, not a long-term thing.
Right.
In terms of combat,
Does the area of effect focus on me, or is it on the spell that was coming to me?
It's you and the amulet.
Okay, that makes sense because the incoming threats don't necessarily have to be an actual projectile. It could be a whole person.
Right.
And does it activate due to incoming threat, or if it like was?
No, as an action, you can cast.
Oh, it's not automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And in the end, that was.
Can I counter it?
so he doesn't have a magic metal detector?
He does not have a magic
Does it
metal.
still work? In that
To
it
point out,
points
like,
you in
magical
the
threats.
direction of a magical threat,
Well-
or is that not part of it?
It
Does not. Right.
Flavor-wise.
It flavorfully definitely can. I don't currently have a
It-
mechanical implication of that specifically.
Yeah, it's not really meant to be used as a compass for magical effects. It's just sort of intended to, when the iris detects a threat, it's supposed to indicate the direction of said threat.
So,
Listen, it's all very complicated.
so it
Okay?
is a
You wouldn't
compass.
understand.
Yeah, it's a secret.
It's not a compass, it just indicates the direction of something.
Yeah. That's not.
It just
Alright.
indicates a direction. It's
Alright,
a
so-
necklace. It just looks at a direction.
Alright, so I'm going to activate it and you send something small at me, and if it hits me, then there's a problem.
Okay. Can I counterspell it?
I don't think you can.
Am I?
You know what? Try to.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll try that first.
Because I want to know.
I will cast counterspell.
When I activate the
Yeah,
amulet.
as you activate it. I would assume not.
Yeah, because this is the thing that I thought about when I was trying to put together this new item.
Put together this new item, and he's like, yeah, better make sure.
Sorry,
Better make sure it works. Counterspell the new thing. Great.
Before we fight a wizard, we'll figure out whether or not this can be counterspelled.
That precedent.
Field on the animate suit of farmer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
We just
go
hears
through
a
the whole
voice
tunnel.
in his head.
You can just put it on the whole tunnel. We can go anywhere. All the magical locks are gonna fall off the doors. Like, I'm just saying, if you want to test it and see how good it is, like, we could just go up there for a minute. You'd be fine.
I'm not going to. I definitely. Maybe next time, but
Next time.
I don't know if it's going to
Yeah,
explode.
next time the Zarin leaves you alone in his tower, sure.
You just keep him busy for like another
I mean,
day.
I don't-
Make a roll for your counterspell
I don't
if
think-
you're actually trying to counterspell it.
I rolled a. It's not gonna be high enough.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 14 to plus spellcasting modifier. It's potentially high enough, but I won't
19.
actually counterspell it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I mean, I want to know if it can be counterspelled.
I kind of do too, but like I don't
Because
wanna,
that's good
I also want to do
information.
that the first time. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it
What do you
tomorrow.
mean tomorrow? We're going to the Labyrinth tomorrow.
Do you want to try to counterspell this thing?
You're
Yeah.
not going to counterspell his trump card tomorrow when we actually need it?
The roll was 23 for counterspell.
I can always recharge.
23.
Yeah.
It's not a spell attack. You said you roll a 14?
Oh, 19 then. Is
Okay.
it plus modifier?
Yeah.
I can always recharge it and run it again.
It's true. Okay, we'll figure out if counterspell works.
I mean, that's assuming the amulet works at all.
Oh, it's for sure.
I didn't roll that well.
Do Do you think it would stop it?
I don't think it would because there's no.
You're not casting it.
I'm not
It's
casting
like
it.
The amulet is producing the spell.
You could just. I think you could dispel
Dispel
it.
magic.
Except
But can you
that would be the whole-
counterspell,
But you
right?
like a
can't
wand?
dispel it, though.
you would be able to dispel it if it was anything other than anti-magic.
Right.
Or anti-magic.
Can you
Okay,
normally
sweet.
counterspell like what a staff does?
A staff, yeah.
But the
Well, and
staff
also
gives
he
you
has
the
a scroll,
ability
yeah.
to cast it, right?
But he also
The
has to
amulet
maintain
is like-
concentration on it.
This
So-
is very corner casey.
So it's like using. Okay.
While I don't think it's going to happen, I think you can counterspell the anti-magic field that you're casting from this, because it is casting it.
Okay, but I'm not casting it. Right? Or am I?
The action is...
Because the goal is to make these for people who have no magical abilities to protect themselves from people who might be trying to kill them. But
Well, looks like your design failed then.
Should have rolled higher.
Now, okay, so because there's like the necklace of fireballs,
Yep.
that is something that's like activated and isn't technically casting.
Yeah, if you throw that at the
So I'll
ground,
give you
you
that
can't
because this
counterspell.
isn't you're literally casting the full normal version of anti-magic field.
Boots of speed, like they don't.
Same kind of thing. You can't counter.
Can't counter that.
Right.
Okay.
Have we tried?
Nobody's tried to counter your blur yet either, which would fall under like.
Well, yeah, but just because they haven't tried doesn't mean
That's
they
true.
couldn't have.
It's up to
You
Kevin.
guys just aren't fighting a
It's
lot
up
of
to
it.
Ken,
You
for
guys
sure.
have counterspelled more stuff than I have this campaign. That's
Just-
for damn sure.
Yeah, we have. Good job, guys.
So your action to engage this anti-magic field is not technically casting a spell, even though it ends up taking your concentration. So Yormik tries to cast counterspell when you activate it, and you unclear if it works.
All right.
Alright.
Well, I guess if you have something magical on you, you might be able to just tell.
I have my staff of defense, but I can't really tell if it's working or not unless I cast a
Hold-
spell from it.
Hold still, and I will cast 5th level chromatic orb.
Fifth level.
I don't know if it works.
Alright.
It works. We'll figure it out.
Make
Alright.
an attack roll.
17.
Well,
They come back from River's dead.
that hits. And I'm going to instinctively try to cast absorb elements. In case it doesn't. In case I end up again.
Okay. So you cast Chromatic Orb. It flies, and as you see Vera do the familiar somatic components required for absorb elements, nothing happens, and the orb disappears about 10 feet away from you.
What did I do?
Man,
It's a good
Was
thing
that-
I only used like a 1st level spell
that-
on that one. Would have been a real waste of resources otherwise.
It was bigger than I was.
No, that's how it always looks. It always looks
I
that
don't
big.
think so.
It always looks that big. It's just because there's no tall people around.
Maybe
us.
But it
it's
was
not
it
like
was 5
that.
orbs.
We're both short, so it looks bigger. Like
usually it's far away.
right, yeah.
Is it like Zera's tower? Is
It always
application
looks
of that?
faster when it's coming towards you. Like it's the yeah,
The Doppler effect.
yeah,
For spell size.
yeah.
The doppelganger effect.
The doppelganger effect.
So the
Yormik
end
effect.
result
Yormik looks
of
bigger
the
when he's
skill
walking
challenge
towards you.
for constructing it is the reset DC is going up by 2.
Ah. Okay.
You have to roll like a 3.
What is it? Is it the same? Is it up from the previous DC?
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
'Cause before it was you had to get a 15 to
it's
successfully reset it, and now it's 17.
Alright, so I have to just do some a little bit of refinement on the parts. The next iteration, the next time I get my hands on Beholder Eye.
Well, there's one. If you want to reset it, there's probably one like right up there.
I mean,
But hear
We
me
could
out.
make another one. I'm just saying.
Hear me out.
Something.
If all you needed was like a small scraping of the iris.
But he
So
took
say-
all of the
Cones.
cones.
All of the juices and all this. There's a husk of the outer membrane of the eyeball.
You're right
at this
about
point.
him
You
only
basically
using a piece of the iris, but he used all the like.
But like something with a
the
like
anti-magic
that's been, like,
emitters.
pierced.
All of those are
Might have
great.
been-
damn. I was just like, I'm gonna make as many more of them as I can.
I was just thinking,
for
like,
future amulets.
might be, like the first time you make something, you have to like use all the resources, and then you're like, oh well, I can actually just
I can
do it, like,
refine.
yeah, like it gets a little easier to make every time, and
Yeah, you
eventually
might be able
mass
to do the
produce
next
them,
one a
and
little
magic
more.
doesn't matter anymore.
You might be able
Next
to do it a
time,
little more
whenever we fight
efficiently
a
next
lich,
time.
we will be unstoppable.
And I won't be able to cast any spells.
They're all
That's
easy
a
to
really
make
good
unless we make
spell,
them for
though.
our
You're just
party.
like, ah.
Hold on, I'm going to.
I'll stand behind you, and then you can
No,
turn to the side.
he's got it. He's got a good point. He won't be able to cast any spells with it. I happen to be a guy who likes bling now. Apparently, I've got this robot that
Oh my
follows
God, are
me.
you really
Also, doesn't require attunement.
Also doesn't require. He's been on Nero and I'm an anti-magic.
This whole time we've just been baiting Kevin into giving us a busted item for Nero. Like,
Ha! But you can't blink, and you can't be fast, and you can't smite.
Whatever. I can.
I'm gonna.
Sure, give Nero the amulet. I'm cool with it. It's fine.
The hell I will.
And then whatever you're next to, we can't hit with spells.
But I can still bow them to the it.
We can't hit it with spells.
So I'm going
Put it on the
to.
robot.
Do I know? I can test this, but I don't know for sure. But do I know if the anti-magic area stays where I cast it, or does it stay to me?
It's with you.
It's with me.
So we just throw the amulet around.
If I took the amulet off, would it stay?
oh,
on
but
the
it
ground?
just sticks with Vera anyway.
No, once it's not on your person,
Yeah.
your concentration on it is gone.
Gotcha.
I don't think he would work.
Damn. So much for my anti-magic grenade. Suck it, Lich!
Vera, that is.
Lich, please!
Well,
Counter bro.
it's if we get to a real sticky situation with two beholders throwing tons of
Like that
spells at
time
us.
we're in the spider web.
Can you imagine if we just had this that we fought the beholders, and I wouldn't be able to do anything,
Right.
but they couldn't do anything to us either.
We wouldn't have even had to fight the beholders if we already
Like
had
Nero
this.
could just swing the sword until they died. Really.
I mean, it sort of depends, right? Like, I can't disintegrate you, but there's a lot of rock to drop on your head.
Yeah, but wouldn't the rock be magical then?
No.
Wait, how do you? Oh.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be?
No, it would not. Yeah, it'd be magical right until the point where it crossed the plane into the knowledge field, and then it's just a regular rock that falls on your head and kills you.
Well,
That's amazing.
I guess anti-gravity is the next part of that amulet.
You need to just get a moon to put in.
Is there anything
Dear
that we
God.
can kill that will allow you to create like an ellipse of invulnerability?
is it like this? And that doesn't include the caster, basically.
Well, it could like
a donut?
like a ball of invulnerability.
What's the difference between a ball and a globe?
Is there a globe?
It's a sphere. It's
Globe. I live in the cave.
it's like a ball. Yes.
Yeah,
Right now, it's like a ball,
I see.
and you want it to be like a squished ball.
You're
I'm
right,
just
the-
saying, you could just no damage. You'd be fine.
A
Oh,
donut.
invulnerability rather than anti-magic.
Or both
Yeah.
options.
Who are you talking to, Yormi?
Well, the problem is that your anti-magic field
It's a
would
little,
negate your...
Like
Oh, it-
punching
yeah,
the
no,
brim
no,
on
no,
the
no,
shoulder.
Well, so
Probably more
the
bruised
beholder
thighs.
is known for its anti-magic. We'd have to find something that's more like this, but that's
Unkillable. Sure.
without just immune to certain spells. I would say of certain levels. If it's not powerful enough, it just ignores it, kind of thing.
Angel feathers.
I mean, that's a whole nother.
I'm gonna start thinking about that for you. I'll let you know if I think anything.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah.
sticking stuff into the.
Does this work?
You see Yorvik? He's like, we get one of these angel feathers. He just licks it and like tries to stick it on.
There you go. Are you good now?
Oh, my God. Okay.
Vera, that's incredible.
Congratulations on your tier 3 amulet.
Yeah, tier 3.
So dope, dude.
And I have a human slot.
So freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
That's really good. Would you like?
Poifway.
One of the 5 Poifways, would you like it?
At
You
the
can
very
You can
Yes.
wear all 5 Poifways and attune to whichever one you
Probably
want.
get Vizarin to teleport us to Waterdeep to buy some magic items.
I mean, we probably have something I could use.
We
too.
have, like,
I mean, I bet
30,000
that fifth
gold.
floor has something you could use.
I would love to go to the
I
fifth
bet
floor.
Bryn's treasure trove as something you can use.
Oh, Gem of Seeing. That requires attunement. You want to have True Sight?
I mean, well, Brent has it
Yeah.
already.
Double True Sight.
We could both have it, or we could sell it.
You want the hat?
Oh,
of
you
the
can
skies?
use Dawnbringer.
What?
Dawnbringer.
You can use
Yes,
that.
yes. Everybody gets Dawnbringer. You're the only person that hasn't had it yet.
Yeah, but I can't use swords really well. I've been
Vera
trained.
just with this
It's
like
alive.
big two-handed
Sure,
long sword.
But I've
fighting
never
everything.
I've never
It's not like it'll be heavy though. It's just a lightsaber.
I've never practiced with
hilt.
a sword
It's
before.
true. That's true.
I've never
It's a
practiced
help.
with all the spells. Like there's like quote-unquote one time.
I've never practiced with all of the spells. Like,
One
That
time
doesn't
ever.
surprise me. But I mean, honestly, I think I might be better off with my staff than that sword.
That's fair. All right, so
I'm
it's
not sure if I
decided.
actually hit somebody with a
I'll
sword.
take
It would.
That's fine.
Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Great idea.
So then, while you decide what your new attuned item is going to be, we'll go back to Graven Hollow again.
Meanwhile, in the Temple of Doom, there's a Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom.
No, it's the Temple of Doom.
Oh God, is that you're just imagining?
Well, I mean, if it's Indiana Jones, it's the Temple of Doom,
Some
at least.
amount of art.
It's the only Temple of Doom
I
I
have
know.
a few
Oh man, if I was a different
A
character,
few,
that disguise would be so cool.
magic items. Magical rewards items.
Okay. So, what are we asking the Graven Hollow?
Yeah.
Um,
Advantage of.
So, first question I have is how can we find the maze engine?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Entrance.
Plus 8 to investigation.
I'm going to belch.
What?
Nothing.
I think he's going to burp.
It's
Okay.
definitely good ball.
You want to wait or?
Too much people.
No. I wasn't asking.
I could have been using the Stone Clear Crystal to cast like my some of my spells and I had to pay gold for the material components.
How can you
Oh, wait,
find
consume
the
one step.
maze engine?
These are every time.
So what you get is just, it's like a massive blur. But imagine the old Windows 98 screensavers on overdrive. And it is just this like first person, like it's just taking you through this labyrinth, and it's too quick to track. It eventually opens up into a much wider cavern, and then you're sort of overlooking this larger crevice where this large contraption is sort of wedged in between above a magma or lava flow of some sort.
Okay.
So that tomb is there. It's above a lava flow.
It's the maze engine.
Oh, okay? The maze.
Yeah, I
engine.
asked how to find the maze engine.
I see.
So I was hoping that would give us more of a. So I saw it led me through the maze, but too quick to really do anything with. I was hoping for more of a way to navigate to it. So
Most unfortunate.
maybe a question on how to best navigate the maze.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Debating whether it's better for me or Ashar to ask that. Because would her recalling the navigation be a wisdom thing? Probably.
Probably.
So it's probably better for Ashara to ask that.
To ask which specifically?
A way to navigate for a way to successfully navigate the labyrinth.
The number you've dialed has been disconnected. Try a different word.
Pelishara? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There might just not be.
I don't have a super handy way to, like
It's
It just pans over to Yormik.
yes! Duty calls. I'll pick the hallways. Oh my gosh. We got it. It's yes. Please tell me that's what she sees. She sees me falling down from the tower. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes.
I don't even know how to like.
Say no.
Well, no, but like there's just
What'd you ask?
A way to navigate the labyrinth.
Get to the name a little
Just
bit.
give us the Google map.
right. Yeah.
Listen, if it just directs us to what is there? There's a spell that like gives you the path, right? Some sort of
Guidance.
clairvoyance.
Find the path.
It's called
Guidance.
Find the Path, and you have to have been there before.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we just
Seen
go
it now.
there and then
Well, if it shows us to us, then we've basically been there, right?
can
We have the dog. Why don't we just put the dog on Baphomet and then like he'll lead us right there?
You know, that would be fine, but the problem is you're not. I mean, it's not like your cardinal direction's the issue. It's everything in between
Yeah.
there.
It's fine. Just get so we put the dog down and then we put a worm behind us.
Isn't that like a clairvoyance spell or something?
Punches
Or is it just
there
find the path?
there are a
What is
great many divination spells
Oh,
that
so
very much
I have
struggle to work in the
fabricate.
face race.
everyone who can learn pass wall,
right.
and then we just
Oh, good point. We should just like you know what we should have done? We should have kept one of the beholders alive, put a shield on his back, head on the shield, and just had him fire disintegration rays
Straight
through the
forward.
wall.
I was trying to figure out how like an anti-magic field would help us through the tunnels.
Anti-rock cone.
The cones are all magic, so if the beholder looks at them, they disappear.
Right.
And you know what the best part is?
You
If
send demons
you
after us
if you
we
would
do
have
this?
pitched finding the maze engine to Grazikar, you might have a beholder companion with you right now.
And there's time. How do we rewind time? Can you ask that?
And I mean, he'd probably give us Karakazar's eye, right? Like he doesn't need it.
I mean, how do you just like one of those air cannon things where you pull the back of the eye and just that's disintegration, right? Like one of those things.
Well, but it's one of the stops.
Oh
yeah,
my
right.
God.
Just a little one.
Yep.
I mean, all right. So
you just have like an electric current, and you're just like poking in at this dead beholder's brain to try and fire off the disintegrates.
Coin flip navigation seems as good as anything else.
It's literally our only option.
No,
Right?
yeah.
I went there.
What kind of cookie was that?
Oreo.
One that needs
Pretty
to
good.
be in our
I think I made
bellies.
them in the container.
Oreo?
Like actual order pieces in there.
let me further ponder this question and go to the bathroom and grab a cookie, and we can reconvene in like 5 minutes.
We'll be back
Okay.
in 5.
Goodbye.
With more time in the library. Right
We
after
just can't
this.
get enough. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
Bookmark it.
Look, if you guys aren't
And we're back. Still in the library. Getting a mulligan on the last question.
All right, so we're gonna ask, where can we find a guide to the labyrinth?
I should have thought this through before I told you to ask that. I'm just kidding.
Why don't you ask?
what a stupid question.
He's just like, you can't. There's no one that can guide you through the
Literally
labyrinth.
nobody.
Your Mick again. Right? That's all. That's all your baby.
I keep missing these wonderful opportunities to
It
just.
just shows a pile of bones on the ground. Right here, that's a navigator.
Or speak with dead.
You're being poisoned.
So you get, or I guess Ishara gets a vision that's going to cause me to have to look real far back in my notes.
Calling it.
He's got to
I'm
pull
calling.
up.
I'm shooting my shot.
He's got to pull up Hemeth again.
No, Hemeth.
No, Hemeth.
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 Hemeth?
No. Hemeth. Hemeth's twin younger brother.
Hemeth.
They
Jr.?
distinguish it by like 15 seconds.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very critical. This is not.
But Hemeth is living in Hemeth's shadow. That's why Hemeth is all like sneaky about stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hemeth is.
Wait, but isn't Hemeth younger?
Yes.
But that's why he's so embarrassed.
Well, big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's so embarrassed.
Oh no, it's gonna be that.
Wrong
that,
giant
that
chunk of
is like
notes.
Asmar.
Could be Jim Jar, Topsy Turvy.
Topsy turvy. It's
Stool.
It's the revivified orc.
Could be Ishara.
Is that session 1 he died?
Ilvara. Could be
Who was that? It was a human that died session 1, right? It's him.
It was both.
That guy knew where to go for sure.
One of the guys in Wickham's traveling company that didn't make it.
So all of them,
Yeah.
except for the ones.
The Explorers Guild. That was really
Ooh.
like not super enthralling thing, but yeah,
In
Where?
Grackle's
the
Guild?
Explorers Guild in Gracklestug.
Yes.
You guys tried to
Buy a map
get
there.
maps from them.
Yes.
'Cause
They love us there.
Yeah, they do. There's a really
They're
nice silk shop.
Very
Really
devoted
nice.
to mapping trade routes in the Underdark.
Okay, so
Going to Grackle's
you're going to Grackle Street.
Yep, I'll go. Don't. I will do it.
I'm going outside of Grackle
If we go to
Street.
Gracklestug, you better believe that there's going to be more nonsense with the name of
Listen,
the.
Holders of the torch.
Listen, I don't want to spend another
Holders of the
day in Grackle. Let the city perish.
How many days did we have before the zombies invaded?
Oh, that's happened.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, so much.
You
for
guys
that.
have asked no further questions and no sendings to the city since then.
Well, whatever his name was, being kind of dick. So
Thundershot?
You're not wrong.
yeah.
Thember Day.
I told him. I was like, yo, dude, careful.
Oh, so we can still go there and
Wait,
get
everybody's
through?
gone. Though.
We just have to go. So? It said the Explorers Guild, not a person in it.
You think
There's a
anybody's
map.
still there?
Well, you think the zombies took the maps with them?
Sure. I don't think it's deserted.
I didn't say it was deserted.
Oh yes, okay, stealth, yeah, heist, map heist. Let's go. Okay,
I never said it was deserted. I just said
Flint's
that
cart
people are
probably still there.
Flint.
Yeah,
no!
I know. Yep.
He got out.
Where is the nearest Garistro? Nero's going to ask
Where's
that.
Flint after this?
Years ago. Okay.
Where can I get the nearest
Nearestro.
Where will the nearest Garistro be when we have an opportunity to kill it?
Where will the nearest Garistro be like in 2 days?
From where we're gonna
From
be.
where?
It will be exactly 200 feet to your west.
Kevin's like, well, surely they'll be in the labyrinth. We spent 2 days
Dude,
sleeping
Grackle Street.
outside of Grizzly. Oh, crazy thing! A Garistro just walks out of the dark lake. He's like, "Bath's already taken. There's this big dude with 2 heads in here. I'm not about it."
He's really territorial.
The Demogorgon is just chilling out in the dark lake, like not
So-
doing anything else. Just
Please give me the exact phrasing of your question one more time.
You had it right the first time.
Oh. Oh.
How do we summon a Garistro?
No.
That would be the closest one. If we summoned it.
I feel like it should be what's the most accessible Garistro. Or the easiest Garistro to reach in the Underdark.
and killed.
What's the most diseased?
The easiest
We need,
Garistro to
we need
kill.
to
in the
stop asking for things that have opinions attached to them.
Where is
That's
a
what's
Garistro that we can kill?
Where is a
in the
genie
Underdark?
that can answer our questions?
Where is the nearest suicidal Garistro?
It stabs itself through its heart.
No, we need that.
It's the only way to kill me, though.
How soon will there be a Garistro getting seppuku?
How do we see it? We should summon one. We can set up a trap.
Can you summon ask the library, can you summon a Garistro for
Yeah. Can you
It
summon
just
a
does.
Garistro right now?
He's just like, sure, why not? Whap!
No.
We were ready. We were
We
ready.
should totally summon one. Get a book on summoning Garistros.
Turn our quest into 5 quests.
Alright, I'm just gonna say,
To summon a Garistro, you need this other demon's heart. To summon
where
that
is
demon.
there a Garistro currently in the Underdark?
Where's the... Yeah. You asked it. Great.
That's the
Nearest
one.
to Araj.
Sure.
Unless the library is really spiteful, it will not give
No,
us the
just,
farthest.
sure, whatever.
It's just. It shows you when it's like in there, but has just left.
It's in the 9 hells. Just like there's a portal. That goes
No,
there
there's
somewhere.
like the planes because of how they are. He's like, well, it's right next to you, technically.
Hear me out, guys. Just true polymorph one of you guys into a Garistro.
Kill it.
Kill yourself. Take the heart. Resurrect your friend.
But you couldn't kill yourself. Wait, does true polymorph break when you reach your HP?
Not after
No.
like 10 days.
You've become
I
that.
don't remember.
If you
So
commit
cast
to
true
becoming
polymorph, wait 10 days, then kill yourself.
Right.
Yeah. And then never be yourself again.
Will you pretend?
No, just use wish.
No. Why would I waste wish on you?
That's a good point. We turned Vizarin into a Garistro. There we go.
Well, the question is, can you remove its heart without dropping it to 0 HP? It's the
Listen, we
real
don't have
challenge.
true polymorph, so this is a moot point.
Ask
Where
the library
is-
to give us
Tell me
true
more
polymorph.
about your mood.
Look, apparently
Google-
Kevin's into giving us high-level spells today. I would
Yeah.
like an item that does this, please.
Ways,
Thanks.
directions to Garistro. Alright.
Gate scroll.
That's what we're looking for. Where's Garistro?
I would like a Garistro detector.
Where's the nearest gate scroll?
We're asking for Garistro.
I just want to know where the Garistro is in the Underdark. At this point, I don't care which Garistro. Just tell me
Any
where a
of them.
Garistro in the Underdark is.
You get a vision.
Number you have dialed.
You get a vision of several different Garistros.
Wow. I'm sorry, that was funny though.
There is the first one is just in a relatively nondescript looking cavern, clearly in the Underdark still.
Cavern Brook?
One is in tunnels that vaguely resemble the worm writhings. More of the rounded kind of tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a flash of several that you can reasonably surmise that this trio is likely in the labyrinth due to the presence of the Phasers.
3 of them.
Alright, so
I mean-
Labyrinth has everything we need, clearly. It's got the Demon Lord blood,
Maze.
it's got
Angels.
angels, it's got
It's a discounted jumbo of the
Garistro.
Underdark.
Yeah.
Saves
There
you
you
the
go.
runaround.
Let's go. Spend all of our
I
spells.
don't get
break-
2 free Garistros.
Alright, so the plan is definitely get a purple worm and just ride it through the labyrinth until we get
Are
where
we
we need
going to
go.
the map or no? We get the map from Greco Student.
Not if we ride a worm.
Which one is a high? Unclear which one is more likely to work.
Do you have Dominate Monster?
I don't.
That would be an 8th level spell.
I was gonna say I don't remember if I could have
Can
it.
you just take it, though?
Is that all the?
All right, so I'm gonna start making an amulet.
Listen, everybody knows if you just use a 4th level spell and a 2nd level spell, you multiply them together to cast.
Oh, I thought it was additive.
Mm-mm. That's why it's harder.
Shit,
It's
wrong.
multiplicative.
I could have been casting
Is that 5?
18th level fireballs this whole time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I'm just gonna cast 3 second level spells then.
Okay.
So to cast an 8th level spell, do I have to cast an 8th level spell and a 1st level spell? So if I don't cast the 1st level spell, it's a 0th level spell,
Correct.
right? Okay.
No, it's only if you use
Splits
2
open.
slots.
So if someone casts
You
a
can
spell,
only
can I cast a
multiply it,
cantrip and it cancels out?
You can only multiply with 2 of them, though.
Oh, okay. So I couldn't do 3 second level spells.
All right. While they're in the library, we're working on an amulet.
Works. We just have to. I have to reset it again.
I was gonna ask how to get Demon Lord blood, but I mean it's not gonna be a helpful question.
It's going to be like, here are all the different Demon Lords standing in their current locations.
All the blood drops.
Choose your donor.
Oh, I would like to ask.
How much would it chuck?
So do the visions only know things that have happened since the library was created?
That seems to be a theme, yeah.
Okay. I would like.
It like, it's the accumulated knowledge of its time for the most part, but just for its time.
I would like to ask about what are the dangers of the Gallery of Angels?
Angel number 1, angel number 2, angel number 3.
What if there's like 75?
What's the question?
And Dennis. This guy down there.
Welcome to the Gallery of Angels.
He waves his hand crossbow.
Yeah.
Pew!
Another group from the library.
So what you see is a series of like images that like flash in a row. You see like an angel with an angry scowl on its face. Another like reaching out as if offering something. You see another one, mouth agape in horror, pointing towards something. Another one, head downcast, arms at its side. Another hiding its face. So just all of these statues in various
From inside out.
poses and positions. And after it goes through there's 8 different petrified angels. It starts, you see other visions. A giant, almost bulbous looking, it looks like a huge mass of flesh and chains that you have absolutely never seen what this is before. There's another angel wielding a large scythe. There's screams in your mind.
Living.
The angel with the sight.
The angel with the sight.
Is it petrified?
Is it petrified or is it?
It did not appear to be
Okay.
so in this vision.
Screams. Anything else?
It's sort of just things sort of start running together. There's weird whispers that you can't quite make out. More screaming. Some words in a language that I don't believe you understand.
Okay. Any like, do we see any sort of more traditional traps like floor tiles, tripwires, anything of that more boring nature?
Nothing that you make out in this vision.
Wash on the ceiling.
Just a giga ooze and a angel ooze.
Got so many ooze.
This ooze.
So I want
the
to
box.
ask like what
I think that's 5 questions.
2, 3, 4.
4. That was 4.
4.
Yeah, because the second one was the do-over that ended up being
Oh,
the Explorer skill.
I don't know. Can you think of any other that? I feel like there's a better question to ask about the Gallery of Angels, something that would tell us about the angels themselves, but
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I can think of, and I don't know that this is useful, is what's a way to extract feathers from the petrified angels, but I don't know if it can tell us that.
the other thing would be how can we protect ourselves from the angels?
Yeah, I mean, one way or the other.
Shows us more right. Yeah. I don't know. Which do you think?
Or even, can the petrified angels harm us?
I mean, when I asked about dangers, it showed me the angels.
Facts, big money.
You are not the weakest link.
Let's ask how to extract
Feathers.
the feathers.
Great question.
Alright, guys, we got here.
You see the image that you see. There's a stone, a small chunk of stone in the form of a feather, on the ground near one of these angel statues.
Molting.
That's
So
what,
we just-
that's what I was hoping.
You just pick them up off the ground. There's
Yeah.
one laying on the ground in front of each
Yeah,
of
do
them.
they need to be like fresh angel feathers, or can they be the kind of rotting angel feathers that fall right off the
There's already a
angels?
stretch by it being a rock angel feather. I think any rock angel feather's gonna work.
All right.
I mean, just because it's petrified doesn't mean it's like not the thing that it
That's
was
fair.
technically anymore.
That's
It's
very
just
fair.
a
And we
petrified
can
version
just
of it.
use. No, he can provide us with the diamonds to cast greater restoration on each of these feathers. And
That was
Yeah.
definitely information that was given, that no attempts to unpetrify these creatures have ever been remotely successful.
I didn't say the creatures, just the
Just the feather.
The lone feather.
So that's our 5. So we'll head back then.
Okay.
Is Vizarin asking any questions?
Does he have his own stone?
What
Yeah,
is Yormik doing at my tower right now?
Unclear.
But when he asked it, Yormik was just like on the toilet.
Right, I was just playing the chess game over and over again. How did you beat
Just twirling that piece around.
If he has a stone speaker crystal, he does not advertise the fact, and he doesn't accompany you while you make your own inquiries.
Cool.
I'm sure he's got his own, because you can't ask questions without one.
Right.
How
Alright.
would the point be for him to be there?
Well then, when you wrap up, you meet back up with Vizarin. He teleports you back to Araj, and inside you find Yormik dead.
Good.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No.
Good.
You
We
find
just see it, see the corpse, and just
Yormik and Vera
Had to happen eventually.
alive and well. Vera with a
Oh, Yormik's
fancy
alive.
new.
Interesting.
more surprised.
Just flip a silver over to Prim. I guess you win the bet.
One more bell, one more whistle.
All right, you're back.
Alright, so do we want to blah 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 refill you with the information we
Shut
got?
up! Shut up! It
Uh,
works! It works!
Okay, great.
You got it working?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, sweet. Did you test it?
It's a chromatic orb catcher.
It does do that, I guess.
Amongst
Do you-
other things.
Can you shoot it back out?
No, I don't
Oh.
know. I'm
Doesn't seem very
Oh.
good then.
I haven't taken enough levels in.
I haven't
to do
actually
that.
tried, but no, I don't think you can do that. I'm curious if it's going to affect Lionel, but I kind of want to run a field test.
Look at me, I'm just learning. I am the sublease.
So if we put the amulet on Lionel, does he get to control himself, or is
Oh no, he has his own thoughts. He's gonna kill you all. I'm tired of taking damage for you.
Now Lionel takes damage for himself.
Now you take
Whenever
damage
Lionel
from
takes
me.
damage, he takes half damage, and he takes half damage.
While
But
you're
if it's
setting
an
up
odd
a field
number-
test with Lionel,
It's a
Do we-
1-point reduction.
our decision is.
I don't
do
know if
we
it
wanna
happened with
go-
when the beholders were around, but no, if he's fully in a null magic field, magic is what keeps him going. If he's fully in a magic field, he is just an inert
Pile of
giant
metal.
pile of metal and wood and whatever else.
Sure.
And then while the amulet holder or the person bearing the amulet is in it, you can't issue new commands, and the damage sharing property is suppressed, that sort of stuff.
So just like the beholders, basically.
Yep. Yeah. So obviously the cone and the directional aspect was different, but functionally the field is identical.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to reset it again. What you guys were saying about we find the library? I'm sorry, I got excited and interrupted you.
No. You're fine. So we can either
Get the map.
go to Zombie Gracklestug and try and find a map of the labyrinth.
You know what, though? Gracklestug might have won.
We could go to
We
Zombie Gracklestug, or we can
Just go into the maze.
go into the maze and blast our way through walls and whatnot until we get to it. We know approximately where the location is.
I mean, it'd be fun to see home, but we could also just kind of.
That sounds like a biased and emotional decision, so that doesn't
I
sound very-
will read it from my mind. Strike it from the record.
I mean,
Into the maze we go.
another way to think about it could be we could go to some big record to find the map. That might take us a few hours, in and out, right? If we assuming we survive.
It's
It's also-
coming with us, so.
If we get lost in the labyrinth, how many days is that? How many hours is that going to
Glenn,
cost us?
we have a lot of ways of magicking through walls and magicking through walls and between tunnels, but if the things we're looking for are towards the center of the labyrinth, and the labyrinth is 120 miles by 240 miles, then that would mean over 100 miles of travel that we would need to use magic to try to go through, and we have a lot of magic. We don't have that much magic.
Fly the last 10
Well,
minutes.
we're also not going to travel, regardless of where we enter. If it's toward the middle, we're not traveling that distance in one day anyways.
Let's go take.
It's not like we're not going to be.
How helpful do we think the map would be?
I think it would be more than 3 hours helpful.
Let's
That's-
go get it then.
that's what
Then
I
let's go
said.
get it. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Um,
All right.
Because it feels like we're racing the clock
Yep.
in a way more than anything
I mean,
else.
not anymore. Gracklestug's already nuked.
Well,
What else
sure.
can get nuked?
But there's what is it that Zugtami is heading towards?
Oh yeah,
Yggdrasil.
that'll be it.
Or
Right.
Amigos.
Yeah.
Or
Still-
He's going to the
I don't
To
know.
the
Nordic.
world, to the
He's going to
She's
the
gonna have
Norse
to-
world tree.
She's gonna
It's
have to
take her a
go
while to
ahead.
get there.
She's gonna have to go head to head with Dweeblex though.
Right,
I mean, it's a
but-
plant,
It's
so
the
you're
same.
not.
Yeah, it's similar.
Sure.
If she
One of
could get
them-
to that, it'd probably be a good prime
I
target.
mean, cast plane shift enough times, you'll get there.
Right.
Something of the Blue Veil, something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's banned for you guys, but maybe she knows.
But,
it, I don't know.
she's a
One of
demon
them
lord.
is heading towards the maid's crater, saying.
We're gonna
Yeah.
bring them all. Isn't that what the?
All right, so we're going to Gracklestug.
Sounds good.
So
Is
if
Vizarin coming with us? And
if
we wanna
Alton
go
can
tomorrow?
take us to the Explorers Guild,
We'll
It's
have to
not
go
Alton.
tomorrow.
That's not his name.
Vizarin, when you get the chance, can you teach me how to do the teleport thing? Can you just? I've been trying to figure it out, but reverse engineering it is harder than someone just telling you how to do it. I'm saying this because when we level up, I can take the spell. So we can role play him having started tutor me.
If you think you have the aptitude, I would love nothing more than to stop being your chauffeur.
I'm sure.
Both of us.
oh, now you can be our tutor.
Vastly preferable work, I assure you.
Yeah, I guess that's true. As long as you're not tutoring Yormik.
No, my teachers always said I was a joy to have in class.
They needed a student to laugh at.
Insight? It's a 20.
Yeah, there were quotes around joy. but
He was a joy,
yeah.
to have in
Pleasure.
Okay.
You brought something unique to the classroom.
Do you want to see where I grew up? A little bit famous there.
Gracklestug.
Yeah.
I've been there. I'll pass.
Oh, couldn't get through the front gate, I see. Fine. I'd be embarrassed too. You can stay here. Or come. That'd
That'd be cool. Sweet, but
I mean, so if I remember correctly. Oh wait, I've never been there. Never mind. How do we get to this? What's the best way to get to the Explorers League thing?
The Explorers Guild, you just walk in.
Vizarin,
Right,
if you
what
if you
English do we approach it?
been to Grackleshug, can you get us to the Explorers Guild, or do we want to go directly into Grackleshug, considering that there may be a horde of zombies in it?
Can we
We could
scry?
call
Well,
someone,
if
yeah.
there were a horde of zombies in it, I wouldn't want to start outside because then I would have to go through the horde of zombies to get there anyways.
Probably.
I don't have a location in Gracklestug clear enough for that degree of accuracy for teleportation.
What if we told you about our month-long?
There's this really cool sewer.
What if we sat down at a campfire stories? I gave you some decaying alkali eyes that are still in my bag.
I'm from there.
Oh, God.
That's you've got something from the location, so that's gotta
Yeah,
help.
just
Yeah,
kill
just
him,
focus
turn him
on
into
me.
an object,
What is that from?
and then he's the alkali
The sewers.
in the sewer.
That was the
Oh.
vine thing.
I was gonna say if he knows how to get to Sloopledop, and if he knows if there's any big boats there, we could deconstruct into smaller boats, and then take that boat across Darkling for 2 weeks.
You've been to Gracklestug before, though.
Time
Just
is of the
chance-
essence.
Right.
Chance it.
Maybe we'll find an egg along the way.
I'm just saying we could just chance it.
Have you
Run
been
back the
to
whole
Mascalier?
Just run
So-
the whole.
Seems like your kind of place.
It's like when the game takes you back to the starting area, but like
Yeah.
changes it a little
Yeah.
bit.
I have not.
We just go back to
Do
the
we want
beginning
to
and
call?
like destroy
Should we?
the
Should we
prison.
call them?
Yep.
Call who?
I don't know. Let's find out who's alive. I've got like 100 people we
Flint?
can call.
Very good.
Flint,
we're
Membershad,
going to
the
the.
king.
You've never met the king.
Calling
Doesn't matter. I know what he
Calling
looks like.
Flint is a good idea to see what the state of things.
Yeah,
all I
we
know
should
is
call Flint.
all I know is we have no idea where Grast is, so that's unfortunate.
He might still be there.
Probably.
Just holding out in Zombie
one of
City
them.
while
They're probably.
Orcus
If
is
he
trying
held
to
them
get
off.
in.
Okay, so I would like to call Flint using sending from the spell gem, and say,
What am I do?
On the list of things Kevin was prepared for today.
You still have that stone.
You know, like 4 sessions ago, I was like, they might go to Gracklestug. They might like go there in time to, I don't know, do something, try and help, anything.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Nope, didn't happen. And then we just haven't talked about it in a while. Like, all right, so what's the plan for tonight? Gallery of Angels? Gallery of Angels?
Gallery of Angels.
Sure. Fuck it, we're going to Gracklestug. How's Flint? How's Hemoth? where did they bury
"We asked for
Broken's
a map,
corpse?
and you said this place in Gracklestug." Okay.
Didn't count on you asking for a map.
You could
I
have
don't
said
know.
there's a map like over here in Raven
Dead
Hollow.
Sea Scrolls. Yeah, the
You
Dead
didn't.
Sea
You
Scrolls
said
days of-
Gracklestug.
And here we are.
You dug yourself this hole. All right.
Is Flint alive?
We'll call Flint. Flint, it's the Underdark.
No.
Nope.
Underlight.
It's the Underdark Underlight.
It's the Underdark.
Accurate.
It's the Underdark.
I mean,
A call from the Underdark?
It's the underdog.
Ooh. Does Gracklestug stand?
Are you dead?
if he's in, he's not
Yeah, we don't. I don't think we get
We
this.
need a map of the labyrinth. Sincerely, your friend, Brett.
Does he know you as Brett?
Beep beep.
I had that thought too. I was like, does he still think you're Andrew? But no, I'm pretty sure that.
And it happened.
I think I
I think that was one of the.
I talked to him afterwards.
I think so too.
For sure. We were there long enough that you died and lived a
We
second.
were there for like 1 session, guys.
You died and
You were
lived a
there for
second
2
whole
days.
lifetime in Grand
3rd level D&D.
Bryn, good to hear from you.
I'm sorry. You came with that voice, and I remember. Well, don't touch my shit, you know. It's like peak moment in this campaign.
God.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Things in Gracklestug ain't great. I packed up my shop and I'm gone. Take care of yourself. Good luck.
Well, that's disappointing.
What do you mean he's alive?
Yeah, it's true. But if Flint
By
left,
the way, I'm a lich.
we know. He can't hear me.
We always do.
We know.
Don't touch my shit.
If
you know?
Flint left, then the city has to be in rough shape.
Right.
Do we want to try to risk it?
I mean,
I don't know.
I think
How
I'm
much-
really good at navigating tunnels. That's all I'm going to say.
How accurate of a map do we really think we're gonna
Right,
get?
that's
That's a question.
yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know. Unless there's like, if we find the map that says here is the maze engine.
All right.
So-
we
so-
need to
so
cast
thinking
sending
about-
again, and I want to talk to Grass.
thinking about how maps and stuff in the Underdark goes, it's not going to be a sweet. Here's the labyrinth, just a full like printout of every twist and turn in the maze. It's likely to be a handful, more like a handful of trade routes and stuff. It's not necessarily here's the directions to the Gallery of Angels and the maze engine, but like, here's a entering from this side or whatever of the labyrinth. Here's a route to take you to XYZ settlement or something that we do trades with, or
People probably haven't mapped out where the angels of death are.
Yeah,
Let's just ship it.
I think we should.
Is- Is this? I'm also going to ask Ashara to. This is unrelated. Before I forget, ask Ashara to put another sending in the gem.
Sure.
That's a chance.
yep.
We
She's
need
not
to,
used any.
we need to take a nap. He used his fabricate today. What's his name? Probably can't teleport us again today.
Yeah. No.
So are we just going to the labyrinth then?
He could if he really needed to,
Go into the labyrinth.
but you need to sleep anyway.
Tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a shame we can't scry in there. That would be
Correct.
perfect
Probably
right
not.
now.
It's a divination.
It's almost like it was.
you can try.
Well, I mean, we can, but no one has the spell.
Oh,
that too.
Oh, yeah, us.
Does Ashara have
No,
a
you don't.
Ashara has it.
She doesn't have the whatever component for it.
What is it?
Vizerin?
I think it's like a 1,500
Oh, it's the
gold
mirror.
piece thing,
It's a
Well,
mirror.
we
or
have
a crystal
gold.
ball or something.
Let's see if Vizerin has that. We'll buy it. off him.
Yeah.
Or we'll
He just
borrow
needs
it.
any crystal ball, and we'll
It's
pay him
not-
1,500
It's
for
not
it. and then-
consumed by the spell.
Let's trick the weave.
So let's say we scry on the explorers. Oh, wait,
I mean, that's how banks work.
she's never seen it. Ashara can't
So
scry.
enough people pay money for
she's in
something.
there,
That's,
right?
that's
Or we
its
get you-
value.
I don't know. I don't know how
Mistress
Scry
just
works.
observing a magic flowing through the realms.
A focus worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, such as a crystal ball, a silver mirror, or a font filled with holy water.
Strand just goes into a plastic glass. Just like, hold on.
I'm sure.
Is
That's
your focus worth 1,000 gold?
Nope.
If you,
He's got just
I
buy one
bought
from
it.
Vizerin. He's got to have
Well,
one.
wait. Can't your staff be used as a focus?
You can't look at the staff though. I mean, we could do it.
Yeah, it literally just says it needs a crystal ball, a silver mirror, or a font filled with
Yeah, it
holy
has
water.
something that contains like a reflective surface.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
Vizerin, how many
Vizerin has to have
how many things that you can see the future in do you own?
What?
What's the nicest mirror you have in the tower?
We're trying to cast a scry.
Not on you.
I We're here.
I don't want him to get the wrong idea. Yeah.
You see Vision.
Not on you. It's just like you're looking at him already. It's like
Staring at the back of someone's head, annoyed.
the fuck me. Like, what is he doing?
I just wanted to know. I don't want to get the wrong idea.
Uh,
I wish we could have you not get the wrong idea.
what are you attempting to scry upon?
Oh,
That's a
The
great.
state of
That
production.
yeah.
oh yeah.
No, who
Well,
cares
that-
about Grackle?
I mean, if
I mean,
it's
that would be
not-
So,
great.
yeah, we're gonna because if that's fine, like if they made it,
Vengeance Paladin, smiting evil. Who gives a shit about the civilization? Fuck
They're
them.
dead already.
They have
dead
slaves,
already.
okay?
What? No. You're thinking way too limited. One city is down. It's
The
more
world
important to
exists.
protect the rest of them. We're already too late for Gracklestug.
so we're scrying on what, the engine or the
No.
angels?
the map. What the-
I don't know. You guys brought up scrying. I didn't
Yeah,
bring
I
up
did.
My
scrying.
plan was to
I'm
scry
saying-
on the explorers leaving Krakelstube to see if it was safe to go there. Because if
Alright.
it is, then
Yeah.
maybe it is worth it.
I think that's a great idea.
Sure.
And you're just like, nah.
Go for it.
And as far as I know, Phaserus contains. Or the
We're not
entire-
doing anything else
It's not
today anyway.
Phaserus in
I'm
Gracklestug.
talking about Labyrinth, in the Labyrinth.
Right.
I
So
know.
we
You can't
can't
drive there
divination
anyway.
anything.
We can.
So
try.
also scrying is on a particular creature.
Isn't it location?
Alright, never mind.
I thought you could do it on location too.
You can see in here a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, blurry blurred.
Or maybe I'm thinking
Modified by how well you know the target and any sort of physical connection you have.
Clairvoyance.
I mean, we would know the someone
Nope,
from
never
the
mind.
Explorers.
Instead of targeting a
You
creature,
wouldn't
it's the
know.
last line. Instead of targeting a
It's a
creature, you can choose a
weird one.
location you have seen before as the target of this spell.
But you've
I have
When you
been
do,
But
We have
you
been
can't
there.
cast scry.
We have been there?
We went there for the dragon thingy. At the beginning, Black Dragon thing. We were in the Explorers Guild at one point.
Yeah, but Vera wasn't.
And I can't. I can't. I guess I could use this.
Oh, and a shard.
Crystal.
Put the crystal.
But a shard can't cast either. And it's not. It's on your spell list.
it's on everyone's spell list in theory. Actually, it might not be on a sorcerer. It might be on Bard, Cleric, Druid, Warlock, Wizard, not sorcerer.
I thought so actually.
So Bryn.
So
Bryn's
Brent.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said Bard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's.
Is there a 5th level gem? Yeah, I don't even remember how many you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 3rd and a 5th level gem, and we have Lionel, who's
We
a
are
4th
we are
level
abusing the
spell
hell
gem.
out of these gems.
Yeah, we are.
Because we use one for sending. Lionel has lightning
Yeah,
bolt
we-
at 4th
wall
level
force
usually,
nope.
and then we have the wall force one.
Lionel has
nothing.
Fabricate usually.
He has nothing right now.
Right.
I would put Fabricate back in him today.
Yeah. So we can pass the magic around.
So yeah, a shard can cast.
I didn't realize that this would be the handy part about these gems.
The 5th level gem of
Me neither.
spell gem, and then Bryn can cast it to scry on the thing.
Using the
place.
mirror that Vizera knows.
Yes. Yes.
We did it. D&D.
I mean, this is quintessential D&D.
Oh my god.
This is problem
I mean,
solving.
this is-
It
Yeah,
is problem
This is
solving.
something you add a keyboard shortcut for in VS Code. That's what this is.
Yeah. It's that feature that's buried like 5 steps deep that you just like keybind.
Right, yeah. It's like it's some
So
nonsense
now
to get here.
so
but-
now down the road, I'm just like I'm gonna cast Scry on this thing.
Right, we spend 6 spell slots and 3 magic items to do it. It takes 2 hours to attune spell gems.
and then read it back something
And we
else.
have to borrow Vizarin's mirror again.
Yeah.
So,
Tell
Alright.
you, we just pay him 1,500 gold for any mirror.
so you want the inside or the outside of the Explorers Guild? It's like a location or an object, I guess.
Did you went inside at some point? I
Well,
think.
he said we all did.
We went
Yeah.
in, yeah. To do dragon. That's where we located the
These
infamous
three.
Kevin's Book of Dragon.
what do you think, inside or outside?
Probably outside, right?
I-
Because if
Yeah.
we get there, whatever's inside, it's just one building.
Listen,
How
they
big
can't
can it
hold
be?
that many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not going to be like just stuff full randomly. Of
We could
zombies.
probably cast this twice. So we can do inside.
All
and
right,
outside.
so I'll do outside the Explorers Guild.
Outside the Explorers.
I'm just
Guild.
gonna go take a long rest during this.
Nero's over it.
I probably could. It's only 4 hours. It's gonna take an hour for each person to attune.
Ready to go.
Look, it's either this or do
guys.
nothing for the rest of the day.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna. In theory, we do nothing for the rest of the day, anyways. Basically.
Let's find out. Let's find out how Walking Dead this is. Is it like the Walking Dead?
It
where they're
doesn't
all
matter,
walking around
dude.
a
Every
construction
attack
site?
that I swing is a smite, and it +1 smited because
It's
they're
like
zombies.
a million zombies, though.
So
Potentially.
what? I swing twice every 6 seconds.
An action economy, the whole city gets.
What, they
Some say you can swing
simultaneously?
a
How many
sword
spaces
twice.
do you think they can occupy
You
around
see,
me?
so it'll be us 5 right here, and then every other square is one zombie.
So what?
Are the zombies reanimated by magic?
They can't share the same space.
Yeah, but
True.
they aren't magical.
They're just gonna shuffle around. And
Have you not
use-
seen 300? Do you
Like,
not
after
know of
the cast
Thermopylae?
is-
I bet if I cast Raise Dead on something and then something else casts anti-magic field, the zombies wouldn't work.
I don't know. I don't.
That is interesting.
You might lose your
Magic
control.
science!
Maybe.
Magic science!
Let's test it.
They just
Magic
walk in and like
science.
fall down.
Remember when
Was
we
there
were
any
gonna go to
corpses
the
around?
Angels?
It's easy. We just Thermopylae it.
Thermopylae?
Thermopylae it.
Thermopylae?
Thermopole?
They can only attack us in a funnel.
What's crazy
We
is
just
like
stand
today
there
was
and
the
kill
only
'em.
day all the angels are stoned at the same time, so it would have been easy. No, so we're able tomorrow to do it.
Looking back at all the old notes.
The Explorers Guild was gonna sell us a map for like 3,000 gold to go to the Underdark.
Yeah, but that was when 3,000 gold was a lot.
3,000 gold's still kind of a lot. I have 100 silver.
So
That's just because we haven't
just
distributed our.
remind. So I'm pretty
pile of
sure,
gold.
but I don't have it specifically in these notes. The Explorers Guild was in the Dark Lake District,
Yes.
It would have had to be for
Yes.
all of them
It
to
would,
get in.
like it was in the.
right? Because there was a while you guys wouldn't have been able to
Yeah,
go
right.
past.
It's
So-
not Masculine Silks was not in the Dark Lake. It had to be. That had to be
Yeah,
too
it
because
was.
there's drought.
I think if like this
Yeah.
was the shore and this was roughly the city, I thought it was like right over here on the
Yeah.
shore.
Yep.
So how many sessions do we want to spend in Grackle Stew this time?
Like 40.
I mean, the rest of the campaign at least.
Well, in theory, if we go and we for any amount of time and leave, we'll level up.
I'm free till 2023.
Okay, so you take several hours.
4 more years.
Vizarin agrees to lend you a.
Is he a crystal guy? Is he a mirror guy?
No, he's got a.
Water.
I knew it. Bothel Hoylar.
No, it's a very like
Hat and pegs.
very
Stolen.
like classic boring drow, like spidery pattern to the border of a silver mirror. A little tacky, but really, really on the nose for
Quite
a drow.
pedantic.
To be
Did you
fair-
get this at Hot Topic?
To be fair,
Yes.
for a mirror to be worth 1,000 gold,
Box
it
lunch,
has to be
actually.
extravagant in some way.
A
Right.
lunchbox.
And this is way over the top. Completely unnecessary decorations, just not even. Not at all.
He didn't actually want a fancy one, but he was like, it has to be worth it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, just be playing
Nobody
that's
would
why-
sell me
got-
the boring one for 1,500, so I tried to throw gold at them, and they were like, "No, take it back."
Do you have any mirrors that just say like vengeance?
Yeah.
Like just kind of.
Just really, they like.
Just edgy.
Yeah. which one has thorns on the handle, so I can like hold it?
I guess I'll take the spider one. Fine.
So,
Just derivative.
take
Brent-
one down, pass it around.
Wait,
Here's your
Brent
spell
should
gem.
just fabricate a mirror out of
Can't be that.
Out
It's
of-
not
I
gonna
can't create
be-
value.
1,500
You
gold
can
of diamonds.
He would
mirror
he would
into
need to be able to
another
do
mirror.
it sans fabricate first to be able to fabricate it that nice.
But out of 1,500 gold's worth of diamonds.
I don't think it works.
Well, it specifically says silver mirror, so that would not work in the slightest.
1,500 gold worth of
Silver.
silver.
I think it says I can't create anything of value, so theoretically I could destroy value.
Just don't empty your pockets.
I could create
Preservation. No, it's a conservation of value. That's how the spell works. You cannot create or
We have
destroy value
gold.
with fabrication.
I don't think that's how that works
That's
at all.
how it works.
We have gold. We have to think of exact change. We have all the silver we need.
You fabricate. You take an entire functional ship and just turn it into like a bunch of crappy rafts, and then expect to be able to just have someone pay as much money for the crappy rafts as
we,
the whole
we
ship.
explain the spell to them, and they're just like,
No, this is how this has
The
to
logic
work.
checks out if you carry the one from the beginning to the 16th boat. So you really start to see the value in the small boats.
they're just like, but I'm not going to pay that much money
You
for
have
this.
to. I'm sorry. I'm not Mr. I don't decide how the spell works. I'm just the guy selling you small boats.
Oh my god.
Looking over there like,
Look, if you don't buy the boat, for this much, we might have a wild magic surge. I can't be certain.
It's really your health. Like it's your world. I'm just gonna have these boats.
Do you want to talk in bubbles for a minute?
Subscribe. Oh my gosh.
Zip zabbity boo bop.
Oh.
What's going on?
We're pretty focused for this session.
Yeah, it was good for a while.
Listen, I tried to get us to the labyrinth.
Look,
I tried to just send
we're just
us.
trying to be realistic. We
would
could
check
get a
the
map. Let's go get a map.
you could just jump in, sure, but
Let's find out if the building's on fire or
This
not.
map will not save us time. This is outside perspective.
Outside perspective, no, it won't.
We have to-
Inside
we have to-
perspective.
outside
no.
perspective.
What does the building look like, please? What does it look like?
outside.
Outside of the building, not
Yeah, what
the
does it look
inside,
like?
Jordan.
What's the outside look like?
An abandoned room filled with maps.
And one zombie just like tearing him in half one at a time. We're on the clock.
just ripping.
But
Kevin's book of the Labyrinth. Just ripping it right now. Tearing out page by page.
20 minutes, we would have had it.
If we would have done this yesterday, it would have been fine.
Alright, guys, this is obviously going to save us time. We go, gather up all the pages, and spend the next week putting it back.
Mending.
Just cast mending a bunch.
It might not be the right map, but we're going to get a page. Okay. Is the building standing?
no, it was on the ground.
Oh god. Okay. So. The Scrying Spell is cast into the spell gem, which is in turn handed over to Yormik.
He was holding the Zaren's
Yes.
finger.
Wait,
Why did
I have
you-
to
No,
give it to
no.
Bryn,
The
'cause I can't cast.
oh wait,
I'm
I've
casting it.
He
Oh right.
has also seen it. I
Gotcha.
try to I shake the gem. Nothing happens.
So Yormik then in turn hands it over to Bryn after being like, "Yep, nope, can't do it."
Reach for it,
Vera,
take
did
it,
you
and I'm
want
like,
to blow on the stone before he rolls it? Or?
I take the stone, take the mirror from Norman, give it to.
That's it. Eventually, Bryn gets both components.
I tell
Bryn doesn't need the other component. Well,
Oh,
I
actually,
tell
I don't know
Lionel
how
to
that
go
works.
cast.
Right.
No, because
So
you're supposed
throw
to.
it
I
like
think
a
you usually
frisbee.
need the component
Lionel
ahead of time.
sprints
Yeah.
cast
Doesn't
it.
matter. Eventually, you get the spell gem with the scrying spell in it, and you cast scrying, attempting to look at the Explorers Guild in Bracklestew.
We almost filled
What you get is just bodies, tons of bodies,
Oh.
still moving.
Oh.
So
Could be worse.
this
Oh, they're moving. Damn it.
Everyone's just like watching my expression, like, oh, dang.
yeah, so you can get like, it's relatively short range, but you can get like a 360 view around the front of this place. And there are just all sorts of undead in this part of the Dark Lake District. But they're not... They seem to be sort of moving in a direction, moving further... let me make sure that I have this map correctly. Yes, moving further south, which would be in the direction of where all of the gates and the walls separating the Dark Lake District from Labyrinth, Pharaoh, and the rest of the the interior.
So away from the
Bracklestew.
Dark Lake.
away from
We're
the
gonna
Dark
have to
Lake.
spend another minute in combat defending this.
I feel it'd be tough.
Yeah, they're not idling. They don't seem to be leaving the city.
Try to push into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see.
Oh,
The
huge
Explorers
chasm.
Guild looks intact from what you can tell out here.
Well, it's because they're probably trying to get to the inner sanctum, but there's the
The
giant.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because you'd cut the bridges.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
North is the Dark Lake, right? So
Right.
South is
They're going into they're trying to
Going
get,
inland.
it's the south.
yeah.
But they would have. I'm a little confused because I would have assumed they would come up from. Like
Because they're in,
You can't come up from whatever that rift, that huge.
the furrow.
Yeah, you can't come up into the inner sanctum. You can only come up on the outside. Yeah, you cannot come up.
because we had to leave the
So,
city ground.
so that's that. You can't come up this way.
Mm-hmm.
You can only get over here by crossing the bridge.
and they would have
And if they
So how
destroy
did
the
how would they
bridge.
have originally come in? Like through the
through here, they would have come from like outside
Oh,
the Dark
yeah.
Lake district and then
Okay.
walked in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
Dark
if
Lake
they
district
destroy the
is-
bridges, then the zombies have to figure out a way to go from here to here with that enormous chasm.
Right
But I don't see any end in sight.
to the bodies.
So the range of view of the spell is pretty limited. So
Sure.
no, within this radius that you have, no, it's packed full of undead.
Where Crest is.
Yeah, he's still here.
He's still there.
He's
we
holding
just
out.
let them chill.
They're holding out.
And the bridge is over.
Thank you.
These are solid. These aren't like flimsy.
Yeah, they would have
nothing
had
rope
to like
bridges.
destroy them.
Right, if they
Well,
were going to.
But there's just like gates and gates, right? So like even up at the shore, there's a big gate and then a tunnel. Like there's
Sure.
a bunch.
So there's
If they want, they could close all of the structural doors to the city and try and hole up in there, which.
Yeah.
seems like
You know,
what they did.
with a red dragon and an order of clerics and a demon lord seemingly orchestrating the other side of this conflict.
Yeah.
Could
be quite the
So
siege.
Flint is just scared. That's all.
He's a
Oh yeah.
Well, his shop was in
he's
the
in
Dark
the-
Lake
he's
district.
in the part of the first district
Coward.
to abandon.
Right. Okay. I think we can get the map.
Okay, so
I mean-
here's the deal.
I mean, there's a horde of
Here's
zombies.
the deal. Last time we dealt with a horde of zombies, we had to try to defend Vera for a minute straight in a structurally sound room. If we go to this
Yeah.
Explorers Guild, as long as no one knows we're there, it's fine. Otherwise, they can just break through the walls while she is casting for 1 minute teleportation circle
Well,
for us to get out.
Yashara didn't know word of recall the last time you had an encounter with her.
Yes.
or in this case, I would ask Vizerin to come with us.
And he would say no.
I'm really
Why would
persuasive.
Why would he go into a city of all these zombies?
Well, because we
don't need the map.
It would be a lot handier if we had the map.
I know, but I'm saying he's not gonna want to. Why would he do that? Why would he put himself in that scenario? I mean, you could ask him.
Yeah, let's ask him. Vizerin, would you come with us?
He is absolutely not going to Gravelstood with you.
Okay.
Especially once it's confirmed that it's still currently.
We were joking about the
Yeah,
zombie.
the
Yeah,
first
it's all-
first time we asked him, he said, "No, I'm not going." The second time, he's even less likely to go.
Yeah, but they're zombies.
Yeah.
Still no.
You've swung me! I'm
You could use a little
Zombies,
right?
you
Yeah.
say? I've been looking to rack up my kill count.
Let's go to the maze. I think we go to the maze tomorrow.
Okay,
I think we go to the
I'm okay
maze
with that.
tomorrow.
sure.
Long rest.
We can still try and scry in the maze.
I think we could get the map, but it's a little dangerous.
We can try and. I don't know why we would scry on the maze.
Yeah, oh.
I mean, it's full of phasers, so you'd have trouble anyway.
Well,
I mean,
and
that doesn't
what
matter.
does it get us?
If we fail, it doesn't matter.
We see that the.
I mean, we could scry on what's his name. See where Baphomet is.
He's in there somewhere.
But then we just see him somewhere in tunnels.
I mean, he
shit.
could be.
We
at
could
the
try it.
gallery.
We saw him like earlier today, right? At the
No, we didn't. Look
You
where he
knew-
was. We didn't use any of our questions on him.
oh
That was
right,
just
that was a
rehashing the-
rehash.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know Baphomet was going for the maze engine. You know the maze engine is in the Labyrinth. You could try and scry on Yunogu.
Sure.
Might not work, but you could try.
We'll do it.
Sure.
I mean, it
Pass
doesn't
the gem
hurt
around
for us
again.
to do it.
Pass the gem.
Like you said,
Oh,
we're not,
now it doesn't hurt for us to scry
Well, they're
on things.
actually
Wow.
useful.
Now
We would have scry on the building surrounded by zombies. I'm sorry that I thought that was a bad
Yeah, we
idea.
didn't know it was surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, it could've-
No, we knew it was surrounded by zombies.
It
We
might
didn't
have
know it was
gone.
surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, okay.
What if
do you
looking
think?
at it no can get us?
Wait, you think they're gonna stay there once he's done taking the place over?
Right.
He's gonna move on to the next city with all his zombie buddies.
Yeah, they could have been efficient.
Everybody's
about
just
it.
counting grassed out.
He's a making zombies as
Okay.
big as possible.
So a few more hours, another hour or whatever, passes. Shara again casts scrying into this gem. And
Would have been sweet trying to defend Grove Street, though.
who, I guess, let's see. Actually, she should probably cast this one because none of you have seen Yinogu.
Right.
You know?
And
Boys.
and her save's probably the best. So she's just gonna handle this one for you guys.
I just thought of a way we can get the Orc blood.
Oh.
What?
We make a deal with Gratz to help him fend off Orcus in exchange for some of his blood.
Is this recommendation coming from Nero?
No, absolutely not.
This recommendation would definitely come from Yormek. That's exactly an insane enough of a plan to work. I'm down. We can talk to him.
Yeah, that's right. He rolled with advantage, but the first one was a 1. I was like, well, can only go up from there.
For the scry on Yinogu.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna take over your head, though.
I know. Nero.
Yeah.
I am aware that this is not a good idea.
Not to
but it
mention, it's
is.
literally making a deal with a demon.
No. I
not-
watched
it's not
watched
good.
you. I think I know that you made a deal with the devil, or suspected that anyway. I'm not about to go along
Walk
with the
into
plan.
another
Of,
option.
no.
Crazy idea, guys. There's this other bad guy.
He's even worse than the other one that we attacked.
The scry upon Yinogu is unsuccessful.
Wow.
Well, he's in the maze.
And also, it's probably just really difficult to scry on a demon lord.
Yeah.
That's not realistic.
Okay. So
We did
let's
it.
go to let's
Sleep.
rest.
What,
Rest.
Sleep
and
and-
angels.
Because we all want to go through this now. The spell gem we just used for scry is empty. What do we want to put in it?
Good question.
Well, so I'm gonna put fabricate in Lionel, and then in the scry, that's the 5th level.
Yeah. We also
I think that's the one we talked about putting
damage, like conal cold or synaptics.
synaptic static because I could cast that. And
I think that's a
I'm just
good
short
one.
on.
Damage.
I'm short on like the big bursty damage.
It's also psychic damage, which is generally good.
Yeah.
yeah. we'll do that.
Yeah.
So
Either
put
that
synaptic
or,
static and I'll take
Either
it.
that or a 5th level magic missile.
or big conal cold.
I can't cast cone
That's
cold.
right. Synaptic stack it is.
Okay. So I'll write that one down. You have
I
it.
think I have it.
Could have been a smite.
I know, but I have the card.
Hold up. Do you want a dragon?
No, because that's concentration. And
Good point. Yep.
it-
No. Yeah. We talked about this. Remember?
Is there always? Can I have the cloth, please?
Snapping steps. Huh?
Have the cloth, please. The fat set.
And did we give you the trucing gem?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You haven't picked it. Do you want Stone Speaker Crystal? or
I'm
you
leaning
want
towards
Stone
the Stone Speaker Crystal.
Let me see.
it would give me advantage on investigation checks. I have +8 to that.
I don't think you have to be attuned to it to get that. I think you just have to have it. Because the way it reads is if it's on your person.
Oh.
So you should be holding that. As much fun as it was to talk to that tree in that one place we were at the top of that, I think you will be more useful with it.
Sure. Then that means I don't have to attune to it, which means I still have another slot, which means I could do the true seeing thing.
Right.
So
You don't
you
have to
could
think
you
of
could
what-
also take Dawnbringer. Dawnbringer has hearing and dark vision out to a range of 120 feet.
Dark vision or blind sight?
Dark vision.
Yeah.
I think you already have better than average dark
I have
vision, I
60
thought.
feet. I'm looking at 120.
Well, it's also... Oh, right, yeah, because that makes sense.
You can also light it up.
It's also Dawnbringer's dark vision, not yours.
Right.
She could be like,
I like the
"Sup, I
idea.
see something." But also, Ishara can just give you guys
Yeah.
like 300 foot target.
Sure.
I like the idea of you having something that, like, if people were like right next to you and you ran out of slots for some reason, there's something you can use. I don't know. Are you proficient with?
I'm not
you're
proficient.
No, there's no way.
This is why I was talking about my staff being
I
better.
see.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Never mind then. I mean, you could take.
Don't get me wrong, Vera wielding Dawnbreaker would be freaking cool as hell, but
I
I don't think it makes sense for Vera.
Gandalf.
Right.
So
Yeah,
of
exactly in my
the-
head. It goes Gandalf.
Of the items we have
Glamdring.
left,
Ah!
we could attune to. We have the dice. We have the weighted dice. Are those attunement based?
They are, but those are not for sale, thanks.
You can have the Hat of Disguise,
No, there's no way that's useful.
Gem of Seeing.
Jim seems
Potentially.
the best piece right now
You could also just do the Cloak of Elvenkind.
for stealthing.
Quaff.
Yeah.
Poifwy.
Okay, so the other kind helps you sneak.
That's
So the only thing that I have is the Liar's Lyre that I'm not currently attuned to.
No, but
They are different.
You should
Like,
stay.
in
Well,
the
it would be
MCM.
I could attune to that if you
I
wanted.
said they are different
something.
items. Like,
Like
in
if you
D&D,
want the Staff
Yeah,
of Thunder
what's
and
the
Lightning.
Those are also good though.
I think that there isn't one. But
Very well. Make your final preparations for tomorrow's journey. I will take you to the most straightforward entrance into the labyrinth that I am aware of, the Spiral of the Horned King, on the northern end of the labyrinth.
Okay.
From that approach, heading mostly south, I believe should take you to the Gallery of Angels, and further south yet is the approximate location of the maze engine.
Do you have a map of the labyrinth?
No.
Great question.
Damn.
That's a good question. Do you have any magical items that you're not attuned to that you'd be willing to sell for less than 10,000 gold?
I don't have much use for such things on a normal basis.
He's a 10,000 gold and above kind of guy.
I see, yeah. 10,001 gold. No? Alright. What's on the 5th floor, by the way? Just curious.
My private chambers.
Just, I didn't know if I assume you don't get a lot of guests. Like, didn't know if you wanted to like open up to a tour. It's fine. Just thought I'd give you that out.
My private chambers.
Okay.
But it don't have to be.
Alright, yeah.
Outside character.
I don't share my sex dungeon
It's
with
not
just
what-
anyone.
It's not what I mean.
But
Vera-
Vera,
I thought we had. No?
So,
I guess
Oh, we had something.
I come
those private teleportation.
I was saying, I come visit your private chambers, and you show me how to teleport.
Alright.
Okay.
Long rest.
Quid pro teleportation. Okay. Anything else you guys do tonight? It's probably pretty
Oh, I
late
am-
given the day of research, the day of travel,
Re-arming-
transferring several scrying spells over.
I'm re-arming my amulet.
Did we tell Davra that the guys that we went with to the trading outpost in the Underdark killed the guy we went to find?
We haven't talked to Davra. The end.
25.
The end.
So that's enough. Am I rearming my trinket?
Gotcha. Okay.
Just gonna tell
Oh, wait.
Davra.
26, actually.
Tell Davra that, like, hey, by the way, the guys that we walked down to the Underdark with killed the guy that gave us the ring. In case you didn't know.
she's just like, good job. That's what they were supposed to do.
Probably.
I know.
You got 2 words.
I think your message got cut off on the last one. This thing has 3 charges, though, so thank goodness for that. Did you have anything else you wanted to say? Or...
It does not have 3 charges.
No, dang.
No.
No, dang it.
Sending stones like a
Why I
once
can't
per
fail
dawn.
something like that.
That's true.
All right. So, you get a long rest. You get all your spell slots back. You've loaded up all your magic items, and if you're not 100% sure what you're going to reattune to, as long as we decided before next session, that is totally fine. You wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
I was just
And Vizarin once again meets you all at the first floor. Are you all ready?
Baby, I was born this way.
So it would seem.
I think I'm ready.
Very well.
Good to go.
Wait!
He casts teleport. And the 6 of you, you find yourself back out in the wilds of the Underdark, taking in your surroundings for a few moments. You notice that basically you're at the mouth of a tunnel. In one direction, like the chamber seems to narrow and lead off, but to the south, it basically opens into a wide cave with a higher ceiling overhead. Patches of glowing fungi cling to the walls and fill the chamber with dim light. Columns of stone support the ceiling, with then the rock marbled with veins of glittering crystal. Across the chamber, a great cleft is ringed by a profusion of sigils and glyphs. Stacked to either side of the opening are 2 mounds of severed heads.
Inogu was here.
Is that what it means?
Looks like it.
What? How does...
Just,
Okay.
I mean, this is.
They like to hunt.
And this is the what of the Horned King?
The Spiral of the Horned King.
And Baphomet could reasonably be described as the Horned King. You said he has like a crown of horns.
Spiral, though. What was the name of the guy?
There was some. It was a god of.
That's right. Yeah.
Of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there? So I wanted to ask Vizarin, are we at the north or south side of the labyrinth?
He dropped you off on the north side.
North side. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
I don't know why it's shaped like a Chevy badge. All right. You said it's like, are the runes and glyphs glowing? Are they in a specific language? They look like they're arcane.
They're not glowing, but it's... If you go and investigate this sort of entrance, shrine, the severed head, sort of all of it, it's invocations to Baphomet. It's curses in various languages and scripts, and inverted names of gods scrawled around the cleft in dried blood, and continue down the tunnel walls. Basically, there's a tunnel that goes like through the mounds of severed heads.
I hate it. I think we're going the right way.
Can anybody read Abyssal?
I mean,
You can read Abyssal?
yeah.
Make an investigation check for me.
If we walk through, do we get zombied?
It's not going to be great. It's a 7.
There is a lot of the scrawlings are in Abyssal, and it's the kind of things that you know.
I'm the Horned King now.
Oh no.
It's the sort of phrases and invocations that that you might expect to see at a consecrated location, but obviously these are a bit perverted, I guess. Perverted idea of consecrating a location.
Yeah.
So, we will pick up here at the entrance to the Spiral of the Horned King next week on Monday.
Believe so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wish we had a map.
Oh man. I say we dig a hole around this gate so that in case there's any like verses that you can go through the gate, we just like dig a little side tunnel and then just cut in. Like
There are some spells that can maybe check for stuff like that.
I don't have any of those.
Fair enough.
for things?
I mean,
not
you could
exist.
just like blink into it.
Detecting.
Detect. I detect fireball
All right.
in your face.
It is a
I
bit
mean,
like
you have seen invisibility.
I
It
do have
was just
seen
getting good,
invisibility.
and it's gonna get better next
I'm
week.
gonna look at
And yeah,
Let's get
Doug said, "Oh no, she was just getting good."
Hey, we did some
I had
stuff.
fun.
All right,
I had fun.
we had a freaking
We had a
blast.
good time.
We browsed Wikipedia.
It wasn't the most productive session ever, but
Well-
at the same time, you also did a lot.
We did a ton of stuff. Vera had like completed her life's work.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was so
Yeah,
sweet.
that was sweet.
Except you want more stuff.
Except I need to make. I want to mass produce them, and that is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, there might be a stage 4 version at some point
Sorry,
in the
They're
future.
just 10,001 gold. You know, something
Yeah.
the Zaren would want.
It's fine. Yeah. Sell it to him. There we go.
Not this
Then
one.
he'll use it,
Um,
and then we can kill him because anytime.
First, I gotta copyright the schematics before anyone else finds out he's made.
Well, no, so you finished it in his lab though, so it's actually like copyright to
He
No.
wasn't there.
You
so
can't prove that
He
you
can't prove
used
that.
his
him.
tools.
He'll
Yeah.
rewind the mystical scrying that he has throughout.
Now
his
blow up his
location.
tower.
Magical,
Now we definitely have to kill it.
magical IP addresses are not admissible as evidence.
Need a
of
Boulder
evidence.
Farm Minecraft style. All right, we're gonna skedaddle. We'll be back next week into the Labyrinth. Thanks for hanging out.
Maybe.
See ya.
See.
Now.
Unless we go back and grab